You should be good now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you here to the 21st round of the Realistic Series for XRL. I'm your host for today's race, the same leader at 13. I'm joined today by Vibe 12. And today, we are 4 races away from the end of the championship season. A title that should have gone to XRL Matrix by this point a long time ago. But through a series of a few bad races and numerous missed events, the title fight is still very much alive between XRL Matrix and XRL Torpedo. But there are still 15 other drivers looking to take to the track today who's not one of them. One of those two, they're looking to just put a good end to this season. A season with lots of highs, lots of lows. Drivers still trying to learn little tricks and traits. Still trying to back into a good win, a good finish that they feel they've not been having a chance to get thus far. Today, though, in the broadcasting booth, we have a new voice joining us. I'm joined today by Vibe12. Vibe, pleasure to meet you. I gotta talk to you a little bit before the broadcast started. You said you like Hungary.
Well, I do.
From your perspective, going into this race, what is the ideal strategy to try and go for a podium or a win today?
I think Hungary is a very safe playing base track. I think this circuit's you have to analyze your surroundings a lot, especially for how small this track is and how narrow it is. So usually when I do anything around this track, it involves me very much being aware and taking advantage of anything that happens. So for example, if someone loses the back end just a little bit, you gotta get that good exit and you gotta get right beside them. Another thing that is very useful around this track is sitting behind someone, because it's a small track, and if you sit there and you kind of weave around and you just trick them to make it seem as if you're going and actually battling them, they might make a mistake, and that can send them into the barriers, which is a free position at its finest. So yeah, I think all these drivers in this race today are gonna have to play it very, very safe and just analyze everything that goes on. As there is someone already coming out, I think that is an Alpine actually. That is Asda coming out with a Haas in front of him. I believe that is Starfish right ahead of him. There's an Alphatera coming out behind him. That would be Fizzy.
So 17 cars going into the first round qualifying. The way that it works is that with 17 cars coming in, the 15 fastest will advance to the next round of qualifying. Right now, everyone is on soft tires, with the exception, apparently, of Asda, who has mediums equipped on his Alpine. So if Asda can get a good enough lap in with the medium tires, that means he'll have an extra set of softs that he can choose to use in Q2 or Q3.
Bolt Beast
if he
is
believes
also
that's the way to
rocking
go.
the mediums today. The Williams driver coming out on those mediums for his outlap here. Everyone else coming out on softs though. Interesting strategy from these two drivers.
Another driver out on circuit right now is Mr. Worsen. We're seeing both in the Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri cams, the number 2 drivers, and both of those cars going out, kind of gain a feel for the track first before their teammates, who are the championship fighters, get out into the circuit. When it comes to the championship fight, and I'll talk a little bit more about this when we get into the space between the end of Q3 and the start of the race itself, Matrix has a bit more than a full race worth of points over Torpedo. He had over 2 full race worth of points over him, but he didn't show up last week at Silverstone, and Torpedo won that race. So that gap has been split almost in half. If Torpedo can earn an average of about 7 points every race from here to the end of the season, he will be able to beat Matrix for the title. It's a hard uphill battle, but Matrix has not felt very confident with his car today. As opposed, Torpedo's been very silent, very quiet about what he thinks can be done. There are also other fights, other things going on, and I've just lost all my data when it came to tires that everyone was on. What in the world happened there, game? Okay, there we are. I got it back now.
We see Frizzy just starting his hot lap. As the Rd coming through Sector 2 now, coming into the chicane, this does look like a pretty lap by him on those mediums.
And James John has also just crossed the start-finish line to begin a flying lap on his part. John made an interesting decision to start lane on the ERS before getting to the last corner, so he's a little bit lower on ERS than anticipated.
Oh, Asda's off! At the end of Sector 2, he has lost it coming out of the right-hander.
No major damage to the car as far as we can tell.
Just a little spin, nothing more.
But that will be Mr. Worsen, who now gets by him on circuit.
Starfish, that's a 117.3. Not a bad lap by him. Let's see if anyone can beat that. That is the benchmark so far. Fizzy with a 117.3 now. That is just a little bit more than what Starfish has set. I'm excited to see what Fizzy can set. I know he is a good driver from previous experiences racing him. He is a quick driver. XRRL Dragon with a 119.0. Asda with a 138.7. Frisbee crosses the line, 117.3. Just behind Frisbee.
I got to talk with some of the Haas drivers earlier today. They feel that if they have a chance to win a race this season, this race and then a little bit later on the race at Zandvoort are the last chances for it to happen. If it doesn't happen there, they honestly think it's not going to happen at all this season.
Yeah, Jeb has just crossed the line on the 117.8, so he is currently in 4th, just barely ahead of Dragon, but he is quite a long shot away from Starfish and the rest of the field.
Bullbeast is also now navigating the end of Sector 1. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and spin the lap on board with XRRL Matrix, because in about half a lap here, he's going to get to the line. Matrix in the Alfa Romeo right now. His teammate, Mr. Worsen, invalidated his first lap, but for whatever reason, the team has decided that the data is good enough. They should just go ahead and send him out now. 6 of our 17 drivers have set lap times thus far, as we now see Fizzy coming back into pit lane. Worsen finally crosses the line, 119.321. Now we see Dragon, 118.564, so he improves. Ozda finally puts down a proper lap, 118.593. The Haas that was ahead has now come in. That would be Frisbee. We're going to go silent in the broadcasting booth for a lap and right on board with XRRL Matrix here around Hungary. All right, and Matrix now crosses the line with a 17.684. That's good enough for 6th on the timesheets right now.
Purple Sector 1 though, so he does have a competing chance against the other cars in that first sector.
I hate to break it to you, but this game's a little bit broken. It says Purple Sector. It's only comparing to your own best time in that sector. It doesn't compare to everything else.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's a silly game issue. All right, Jigsaw now coming out of the final corner in the other Alpine. His teammate on mediums with a 118.593. Jigsaw on softs almost a full second faster with a 117.527 right now. 13 of our 17 drivers have set time. Ocean Line is in an out lap and about to start a flyer here.
Let's see what Ocean Applewaite can do. He is in the mud.
Out of the final corner.
The can be good around this circuit.
Yeah, never forget Lewis Hamilton, this generation of cars, basically had to make up almost an entire extra pit stop on time and was able to come from what was about 14th on the grid because of that, all the way up to about second. So yeah, Mercedes are very, very competent.
100%. Let's see what Ocean 9 can set. I'm excited to see what he can do for a lap time around here, especially in the Mercedes.
Well, his teammate, Dave Flavor, and now Ocean's hit him. So Dave, where his teammate spins, Flavor has nowhere to go. Flavor goes on the wall, and then Dave comes with even more speed, runs right into the back of the Red Bull.
And Ocean 908 does have a 5-phase grid penalty for that incident, for a severe collision.
But there's nothing that he could have done there.
He could not have gone anywhere.
The track was blocked. It's a nearly a blind uphill corner. The track is blocked, and by the time he saw his teammate, Dave, and then Flavor sideways up ahead of him, there's nowhere he could have gone. He locked up the brakes and did everything he could to stay off, but again, it was too late. It's a blind corner.
I think both Mercedes do have damage. I think they're both going to have to come in, though. That was a very interesting incident, especially for that corner. I've never seen that before. Let's hope we don't see that the race. Dave Ewart comes in. I know Ocean Lion has no front wing, so they are both coming in, which is going to cost them more time, especially on Ocean Lion 08's part, especially because just that way of how the pits work.
Yeah, it's going to be a kind of an accidental double stack in the Mercedes camp because of
Zola
that.
comes around the final corner. Never mind, he comes into the pits. I thought he was on a hot lap, but no, he's coming into the pits. Both Hasses out on track, currently going for hot laps. Frisbee, purple sector 2. That is good to see. He will be maybe increasing his time just by a little bit, or maybe he'll stall in the last lap or something. I mean, in the last corner or something. We'll see. Comes around the final corner. What does Frisbee set? We will see momentarily.
To the top, 16.
1:16.9. He has.
So in the Haas, he dragged that Haas, the worst car by far, into the top time. Now, granted, some people aren't going to be pushing too hard. Drivers like Ozda and Bulbies are still kind of wild cards here, but that's still impressive.
Yeah, that's very
Worson's in an outlap right now, and XRRL Torpedo has also just crossed the line. So your other championship contending driver is now in the middle of a lap himself.
Dave Ewart comes out of the pits. He is coming right back out. He wants to set a time because both Mercs have not set a time yet. XRRL Torpedo is currently on his hot lap of the day. He is just finishing sector 1. Let's see what he can do. I'm also very impressed with Frisbee's time. I was not expecting to see a Haas on the front row, especially safe by 2.5 tenths. That is something.
Well, with the way it's looking right now, we could see 2 Haas's on the front row because Elephant Starfish has a competitive time also. 1:17.379 is third fastest at the current moment.
He does have a chance of getting the other Haas onto the front row. That'll be an absolute achievement if he can do that. XRRL Torpedo, purple sector 2. He comes into sector 3, coming around the final few corners now. Haas 1 jumps into the pits. Both Hasses are now into the pit lane as XRRL Torpedo comes around the final corner to set his first hot lap of the day.
Pops open the DRS, lays on the ERS at the line.
Position for XRRL Torpedo.
17.694.
That is a not bad lap. That puts him right dead center in the midfield. Now there's only 3 cars.
And that's right behind Matrix. And that's right behind Matrix, his title rival as well.
Yes.
Dave Ewart now coming to the line, and he's going to try another attempt at a lap. Same with Flavor, just a little bit behind him on circuit. Ocean Line in the other Mercedes is still in pit lane. Right now, though, for Ozda and Bulbies, I think the two of them might be sweating a bit because their medium tire times have not been holding up. Everyone else on the softs have just been gradually beating them. Mr. Worson has improved up to 12th with an 18.007. Jabez John, he has a 17.801, and he's already on an outlap trying to go faster. Ozda, we already see that they've responded in the Alpine camp they've thrown on. And yeah, Starfish retires in pit lane, so he doesn't want to burn up the extra rubber. For Ozda, they've already thrown on a set of soft rubber, and Bulbies has crashed out, and he's crashed coming out of the final corner.
That is something. I was not expecting to see him crash just like that. That is not good for him. He had set a horrible, horrible time. He was, what, 2-3 seconds off the pace almost. That is not good for Bull Beast. He does not want to see that in his race. He will be starting so far back.
And at track here at Hungary, where overtaking is difficult, it's not going to be a very easy time, to say the least. Beastian, who has the 5th fastest time thus far, also retires. I see a Alpine around. Is that Ozda? Yeah, Ozda's had a spin in Sector 2 now.
But Dave Ewell comes around the final corner. Let's see what time he can set for his first hot lap.
All right, and coming into the party right now is BG Bullbeast. Bullbeast, go ahead and include your audio. Rough time, DNF in the session. What happened that took you out there out of the final corner?
He does not have a mic.
Oh, don't have a mic. Okay. If you want to say anything, though, feel free to type it up in the chat, and I will repeat it. Ozza has had another spin on this lap, so he's
Can we
knocked
talk
off the
about
best
the
of
fact
that set
that
of
David Ewell just put his Merc into 2nd place, 2/10 behind the Haas ahead of him?
Yeah, 17.161, incredible time. So what can his teammate Oceanline do? There's still about 4 minutes left in the session.
It's looking good for the Alpha Tauris, though. 3-5 for them. I want to see if Asda can set a better time. But he is out coming into the pits. I want to see maybe if he'll jump onto a fresh pair of softs or something and try and set a better time. Because so far, I don't think he'll be making it into Q2. Which is not something we want to see.
Yeah. Bulby says he was sliding the entire lap. He overheated his tires for the last corner. All right. Well, shame to see it go like that. Looks like you're going to be starting from the rear. Do you think you can make your way into the points in the race?
Everyone's just coming in now.
Bulby definitely feels he can get into the points. All right. Bulbous, we want to say thanks for being willing to jump in and share your experience with us. Shame that you're out qualifying this early. Zola in the middle of a lap right now, coming to the end of this lap. His prior time was a 17.796.
This looks like a good lap on his part. Puts him 10, and so it's 8:10 for the McLarens. You like to see
So
it.
he jumps. Yeah, he gained a bit more than a 1/5 of a second that circuit alone, so 8-10. Again, top 15 will advance to the next round. Ocean Lion still in pit lane.
Bull Beast
they have not yet brought him out there.
Oh, Bull Beast is having a hell of a time. He is so just... It sucks that he retired, man. He's gonna have to sit in 16th on the start of the race. That's something he does not want to see. Actual Dragon also retires. Zola's teammate is happy with his 117.5. Jigsaw
and Frisbee now retire. Yeah, everyone in the top 9 basically all know that their times are good enough. They're locked in. Really, the fight's just between Ozda, Flavor, and Ocean Lion. Of those 3 drivers, they need to figure out.
Ocean Lion retires. I don't know what.
Well, that's it then.
Yeah.
Well, they must have figured that there was no point going back out there again for another attempt. They're either significant damage to the car, or they didn't want to burn through extra tires, or what. But with that in mind, that's it. Session's over. Ozda and Flavor are both in. Mr. Worsen is in. James John is in. Matrix and Zola is in. Yeah, this session is basically over.
Yeah, I thought Zola was gonna stay out. I thought he was going for a faster lap because I really wanted to see him, set a faster time than that. But I mean, it's Q1. He made it in. That's fine. That's he might be saving all that pace for the Q2 or Q3.
The rough news for Ozda, though, is that he set laps on medium tires, and now he knows that the time of the mediums would have been good enough for him. He didn't have to burn through another set of softs, actually 2 more set of softs, but he's gonna try and get the most out of it. It looks like he's really pushing it this circuit.
Yeah, he's definitely on a hot lap, that's to say the least. Oh, he almost loses the back end through there though. But this does look like a decent lap. If he can nail that chicane, he might be able to get some more time off of his hot lap that he originally set. Because that chicane, if you hit it perfectly, you can save up to 3 or 4 tenths, which on this track is huge.
He's looking very nice and very smooth throughout Sector 2. Now into Sector 3. It's a very short sector.
And he set a purple
Ozda
sector
up by
2.
nearly half a second alone.
This is amazing. He is on a rapid lap.
Long sweeping corners. Those are the last two corners here. Now Ozda comes out of the final corner, lays down the power across the line. 7/10 improvement. That's fourth.
That is so good to see from that Alpine. Wow.
And now the focus goes to Mr. Worsen, who is also doing the same thing. Just trying to. He's around! And he's into the wall! He's ripped up the entire front nose!
Mr.
Doesn't destroy the car.
Yeah, that's.
But for Worsen, ugh.
You do not want to see that, especially from just an Alfa Romeo, because they're already such a slow car, and Mr. Wilson does not want to see that. He's. At least he's not getting knocked out, but still, that hurts to see.
Well, he's not getting knocked out as long as he can drag that car back into the pit lane. That's his priority right now. All right, we'll see the Alfa Romeo come into the pits now. Ozda also will likely be coming in as well, as this session is basically come to a close. And now Ozda has a spin. He drifts and kind of saves it. Doesn't hit anything.
Just having some fun in the last sector, I think, is what's happening.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's the session. Frisbee, though, wow, he's clear by 2/10. That is good to
and
see.
For the Mercedes team, though, frustration, because although we know that they have speed, an incident between the two Mercedes and a Red Bull in qualifying leads to one of them not even being able to move out of Q3, and the other one, he had pace, but burned a set of tires that he didn't need to, and now he also has a 5-spot grid penalty, so is this going to be a disastrous start for the Mercedes drivers?
Yeah, that's, I didn't think I'd see the Red Bull so low. It's, even the McLarens,
well,
I thought they'd be up there.
Well, I will say this. This is about average for where the McLarens qualify for. And for Red Bull, this is actually really good for Beastie. And Flavor normally kind of ends up around here in Q3 and then will sometimes improve a bit more into Q2. But Flavor's more of a driver that is better on race pace and avoiding strategies. He normally doesn't have the greatest when it comes to single lap qualifying pace.
I feel that's definitely me. I can relate to that strongly. I'm not a good guy in quali, but I got some race pace. So I feel what you're saying, and I can feel for him there.
Alright, so now we prepare to get underway for a second round of qualifying. Tire choice is decided here. The top 10 fastest here will go into the next round, and they will go into the next round, obviously line up for front 10 positions, but they will also start the race on the tires that set their fastest lap in this session with.
People already
so the
coming
first
out.
drivers out onto the track are the Haas's. It is Elephant Starfish leading Frisbee onto the track, and now just a little bit behind them, that is the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Worsen.
I've also noticed, look how many people are coming out on mediums. Wow, everyone's wanting to come out on mediums today. I think they, something apparently is interesting about the mediums for everyone today. I don't know what it is.
Well, if you can get a good lap, if you can get a good enough lap on the mediums, then you can bet on, being able to survive a little bit better in someone else's aerodynamic wake, and you have a bit more of an advantage when it comes to tire strategy throughout the event. Softs, obviously, those fall off relatively quickly compared to everything else.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this qualifying session, especially just seeing, because of how many people are on mediums.
I'm also really interested to see how many people are going to elect to swap over to the softs, because we know the softs are way faster than the mediums. I'm interested to see how many people are willing to ditch tire strategy and get off the mediums to throw on softs and potentially start higher on the grid but with worse tires in the race itself.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Oh! Gabo! Spin in Sector 2, that's the same area we saw the Mercedes have their incident.
Yeah, in
last
Q1,
session.
that's the exact same place we saw, who was it? I think it was, I don't remember who it was who got that 5th place.
Well, either way, Gabo has gotten away at this point. He's already moving again. This was only an outlap for him, so it's not too terrible. But still, bit of a hiccup, bit of frustration. He has to hope they didn't knock the best off of those tires in that spin.
Because the Sector 1 was beautiful. That was a clean Sector 1 by him. He kind of misses the first part of the apex on that chicane, though. That's okay. Level 6 Beastin! He's crashed!
He's out!
I don't know whether he retired. Oh, no, he crashed.
No, he's crashed out. Yeah, he's crashed out in Sector 1 coming out of Turn 4.
Wow. Also, Asda is setting better time, like a better sector times than Frisbee. I think that slipstream is actually kind of helping him a little bit.
But how long? Because the closer you get to the car ahead, the more powerful the slipstream is. And slipstream is great on a straightaway, but the moment you get in a corner, it's the last thing you want to deal with. Azza sets the time, 17.241. Here comes Elfin Starfish to the line now. 131, not a good time. I think something must have happened with Starfish that encouraged him to lay back on that lap.
Or something. XRRL Dragon with a 118.9. That is not a good lap.
And now here comes, well, Worson's aboard his lap and coming to the pit, so now the focus goes on to what it's going to be. No, Jigsaw's just started his lap, so it's going to be Gabo, I believe. Yeah, Gabo's going to be the next one crossing the line.
Yeah, he's, I think he's on a decent lap here currently. Let's see what he can pull out of his hat. Comes around the final corner. And
to the line for Gabo, 117.220.
Wow.
That's good enough for the top.
Just beats Asda by 0.021.
And now here comes Flavor to the line. His teammate will not advance. Can Flavor bring a Red Bull into the next round?
Oh,
Flavor sets at 18.176.
That's wow.
And now Fizzy jumps him 17.695. And now the focus goes to Jigsaw.
See what Jigsaw can do. Asda retired.
In pit lane, apparently.
Asda does not think he can improve, I don't think.
Yeah, he must be committing to that time. Interesting and bold strategy. All right, well, coming into the party right now, we have XRRL Asda. Asda, go ahead and include your audio. Relatively early retirement in the session. What happened?
Just feeling confident. You know, I think that lap that I did there is on pace of the lap I did in Q1. And obviously the Q1 got me through with P4 or something like that. And obviously, when now with Q2, we have people on medium, so it's going to be quite different. So I'm hoping I'm not going to regret it in the long run, but I'm sure I'll do okay. And if not, then it just makes it more fun coming through the field.
All right, well, right now, second fastest. Your teammate Jigsaw has the third fastest, so the Alpines seem to be relatively well put together right now.
Fizzy, sorry, with Paul currently, he just hit the 116s. That is really good to see.
XRRL Dragon has pretty much run out of fuel, so now he's going to have to putter that car slowly around the circuit into pit lane. On the other hand, though, his teammate XRRL Zola is coming through the last three corners now, preparing to get a lap in. Another driver in the middle of a flyer right now is Dave Ewart. Dave's going to try and be the 9th different driver to set a time, and he is committing right now to the soft rubber.
I agree. He's his sector 2 isn't looking too good right now. He's kind of gone off a few times, missing a few apexes. He's not setting himself up for good lines, but he did just set a good sector 2, so we'll see how we can bring it home.
But for the Mercedes driver, will good be good enough? That is the question.
That's the big question here today. Also, we can count in on Frisbee coming out for his outlap currently. Dave goes 5th with a 117.7, just barely dipping into the 7s actually. That is
all right.
Something.
Here comes your championship points leader, XRRL Matrix, out of the final corner. In the Alfa Romeo, pops up in the rear wing across the line, 117.347. That's good enough for 4th right now. His rival Torpedo is back there in Sector 2. Before he gets to the line, though, Frisbee's going to get there, start his lap. Fizzy's probably going to come into the pits, and we'll see Mr. Worsen in the other Alfa Romeo cross the line as well.
All right, we're going to go silent and watch Frisbee's lap here, see if he can set anything good. Frisbee gets out of the bottom 10, so far if the session had ended just now, he would not be eliminated.
Yeah, Frisbee 18.243. Right now it's the fastest of everyone on the medium rubber. Zola is on the outside looking in, but as he comes to the line, is he going to be able to improve? He does. He moves up to 11th, 18.580, but both McLarens right now are on the outside looking in. Also of note, Jabez-Jan is in the middle of an outlap right now, and Mr. Worsen is coming to the pits while Matrix is still out on circuit. Though Matrix is low on fuel, he'll be coming back into the pits in a little bit. Fizzy and Gabo have also both retired after setting time, so our top 3 fastest right now, all out. Right now, on the bubble, is Elfin Starfish in the Haas, and they're sending him back out on another set of medium tires. They really want to get those Haas's into Q3 on medium rubber, it would appear.
Yeah, and I think I think both McLarens are just, yeah. So Zola's currently on a hot lap with Dragon on his out lap. I'm gonna watch Zola, see if he can do anything good. I don't know if he can. I'm really hoping he can get out of the bottom 10 because I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him eliminated because he's such a honorable driver at times, and it would hurt to see him coming out.
Zola is not really known for being the greatest when it comes to qualifying. Normally he makes his positions up on strategy, judging the calls in the changes in the track much better than most of the other people. He's a thinking man's driver, if I may. And it looks like he's going to come into the pits now.
Yeah,
so.
now the head's turned over to his teammate who's currently on the lap. But I think Frisbee's actually also on a... yeah, Frizzy's on a hot lap currently, so I think he's gonna try and improve his lap, see if he can maybe get a higher position. Even then, he would, it doesn't matter anymore, because so far he's not gonna get eliminated.
Jabez-Jan is now in the middle of a flyer, and in the pit lane in the AlphaTauri camp, they have thrown on a set of soft rubber for XRRL Torpedo right now. He is currently 9th, but his fastest time up to this point had been set on mediums. I think he sees Dragon, Worsen, and John all on softs. He wants to just guarantee a spot in the top 10 more than he wants a good tire strat. So we'll probably see Torpedo come back onto the circuit shortly here.
Yeah, Jabez-Jan currently on his first hot lap of Q2 actually. Wow, he waited so long to come out. That's so far his lap is looking okay. I don't know if he's gonna get that that Aston into the top 10. He might be able to just squeeze it in, but I think his teammate was eliminated if his teammate even joined at all. The person behind him is
Dragon, instant sector 2, as we now see him kind of cutting the circuit a bit, so he'll have to wait a bit before getting a lap in. John now jumps up into 8th, 118.166. This pushes Starfish out of the top 10. Torpedo is now on the bubble.
Oh, and no, he couldn't. Let's see. What is the Haas driver out? Starfish currently on those mediums, still trying to he's gonna try and maybe push Torpedo out. Maybe put flavor into the bubble, I don't know. I'm really hoping Starfish can. Oh, he takes the last corner wide. That is not what you want to see. I think he was just setting
Yeah, he's
himself
on
up
a
for a
cooldown
hot
lap right now. Yeah, I think he's setting himself up for a hot lap now, trying to have the widest exit possible to artificially lengthen that front straightaway so we can theoretically at least be faster coming to the line. Any little trick, any little deceptive little gimmick that can get you ahead is what he's going for. Torpedo has come out onto the circuit, and they have set those soft tires on his car, so he knows that he can make it into the next round, I think, on the softs. He just needs to get a clean lap in. With less than 2.5 minutes left, I think he'll be able to do this.
John coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Jibbs John can get into the top 6, maybe. Oh, he got
7th.
So he pushed.
117.7.
Anyone down. That is.
No, he does. He pushed Frisbee down to 8th. So Frisbee now a little bit closer to being kicked out. But Frisbee's time of a 17.9, I think this might work. Well, as I say that, we just saw Worsen go across 17.746. It's going to be really close for Frisbee. He's got a great time on the medium rubbers. We know he could make it in if they throw on softs, but with 1 minute and 46 seconds left, I don't think they have time enough for them to throw softs on that hog. No, he's retiring in the pits. So he says what happens, happens.
Oh, I don't want to see Starfish get eliminated. I really want to see both Hasses make it to Q3. Oh.
Flavor in the middle of the lap right now as well. Also of note, Starfish has invalidated this circuit as well.
I think Starfish.
So Starfish coming across the line.
That just costed Starfish's
wait,
point.
was that Torpedo? Yeah, Torpedo had a spin. Torpedo had a spin in an instant coming out of the last corner. This is not good for Torpedo, because for Torpedo, that happened when he was coming to the line. He's going to be slower to the line than he was before. Torpedo might not be able to advance.
Oh, this
that
is
was
interesting.
A lot of very valuable time he would have lost.
Both McLarens are both at risk right now.
Could Flavor cheat his way in? Dragon is down on time. Zola to the line. He is up, but will he be up enough to get ahead of Flavor? No, Zola's only able to get to 13th.
I think Flavor's going to push Frisbee down.
Out of the final corner for Flavor. The DRS pops open.
Frisbee
at the line,
risk.
Flavor, 17.679. Frisbee is on the bubble now. Dragon has gone off circuit again. Here comes Torpedo on a lap. Will it be enough? He needs to beat Frisbee's time to keep his title hopes in the best shape possible.
Zola also, never mind, he's not on a hot lap. Zola is struggling currently. Starfish needs to set this good lap right now, or else he is done for.
Torpedo on a charge. Starfish on a charge. To the line. Starfish will be the first of the duo to hit it. What will his time be? He's low on fuel. At the line, it's only 11th. He's not in. What about Torpedo? Will he be in? Yes, barely. Torpedo barely squeaks in despite the spin at the start of the lap. 17.779.
Starfish is out. Both passes just narrowly miss Q3. Zola,
and both McLarens are not able
Zola's
to
on a hot lap,
strategize in. No, he's not. His lap's invalid. Yeah, his lap's been invalidated.
And that would be your qualifying right there. I think Starfish.
So
just
both
gone for a
Haas's and
tractor
both
lap.
McLarens squeezed out in Q2, and Torpedo recovering from a from a spin right before his flyer, able to barely squeeze in. But it doesn't matter, because now we shuffle him up and rack him and stack him for the final round. Also of note, everyone in the top 10 will be starting on worn soft tires. So many people knew that mediums were the way to go, but the difference between softs and mediums was so incredible, and overtaking is so close to impossible here that it didn't matter.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was an interesting qualifying. Torpedo's probably pretty happy with his teammate sitting on first right now by a clear 3/10 almost. That is actually no, he's just over 3/10 clear of Gabo. That is
Gabo, yeah.
So that will be your qualifying as Starfish just goes for a loser lap around the final corner.
Yeah, at this point, I think that the AI has probably taken over or something like that.
Yeah, now the AI has taken over, and that would be your that's your qualifying section right there. Wow. Torpedo just narrowly getting in there.
Yeah, but at the front, Fizzy, followed by Gabo, Ozda, Dave Ewart, Matrix, Jigsaw Flavor, Jabez John worse than Torpedo, and Ozda made that call early on. Hey, I'm happy enough with this time. I'm going to stick with it. He was the first to retire when he was second on the time sheets. In the end, he makes it in third. So great call by Ozda. Again, they started in Q1 on medium tires. Couldn't go fast enough on that. Then they burned through 2 sets of sauce. So they were kind of behind the 8 ball when it came to tire compound setup for qualifying. Now, they've turned it around. They're right back where they need to be going into the final round at least.
Yeah, that's all those top 10 drivers are kind of close together a little bit, except for like behind, I'd say 7th. Everyone above 7th is so close together. It's going to be an interesting battle to see in this race. But here we go into Q3. We'll see what happens. I want to know how close everyone's going to be to each other. First person to come out, that looks to be, that's an Alpine of, I think, that is
That's Ozda,
who was first out, and then Fizzy following right up on his ass. This is going to be cool. Ozda, though, is going to get all that clean air. He's going to be the first one on the track this morning. That's going to be good to see.
And he'll be joined right afterwards by Fizzy. So Fizzy and Ozda trying to get onto the circuit early. Again, laps here relatively quick. This is a relatively short track by F1 standards, and although you spend a lot of time on brakes and navigating corners, the overall length is not that long here. And then you couple that with the 2 DRS zones on realistically the only 2 straights of any significance. You kind of are in a scenario where theoretically here you could get 3 flyer laps in if you're in the position of Ozda and Fizzy and try to be some of the first guys out there. For Dave Ewart, who is still in pit lane, he needs to shoot for the pole position under every circumstance because he has that 5-spot grid penalty from the Q1 incident between himself and Flavor. So Dave, even if he gets fastest time pole, he would only be able to start 6th. So for Dave, he just needs to start as high as possible in this race.
Yeah, it's Az is going to be the first one to set a time then, but we'll see what he sets. See the benchmark in the morning.
Drains that Alpine almost to a dead stop, and then lays on it right going into the final corner.
All right, let's see.
So 7 of our 10 drivers on track right now. Matrix, Worsen, and Dave Ewart have yet to come to the circuit. So Torpedo's actually going to take the initiative and get out onto the track before his rival right now.
Yeah.
All right, now we see Jigsaw. He's crossed the line. So both Alpines performing very well today, getting both of their cars into the final round qualifying, and they both look very good on single lap pace. I honestly think that either Ozda or Jigsaw could potentially pull out a good podium here if they just minimize their mistakes in the race.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Dave's still not coming out yet. No one else is coming out just yet. But let's see what Asda can set, as he just finished his Sector 2.
54.937, so that's a respectable Sector 2.
Indeed it is.
Sector 3 is a hard 90-degree corner, and then a pair of sweeping 180s laying into the front straightaway.
That's, what was Asda going to set? Looks like
At the line with the DRS open, it will be a 117.184. We know he can do a bit faster than that, but it looks like they may have put a little bit of extra fuel in that car just in case something went wrong on the first lap because there's no fuel light flashing yet.
Yeah. Ooh.
Gabo to the top now, 16.995.
Just scrapes the surface of him. That's good to see.
And now
Jigsaw.
the other Alpine of Jigsaw, 116.842, and now we see Jabez John has aborted his lap, so he's come into the pits. So it will be Flavor will be the next one across the line.
Let's see.
17.492, that's good enough for 5th.
That's,
And
yeah.
Torpedo will be the next across the line. Torpedo's lost his front wing somewhere. Something's gone wrong for Torpedo. He's been involved in an accident or something somewhere because there's no front wing on that car right now.
No, there isn't. I actually really want to know what happened to him.
Well, Ozda's invalidated this lap as well, so, and Fizzy has invalidated his lap. Gabo is on a cooldown lap, as is Jigsaw, I imagine. So with that in mind, we're kind of in a moment of just waiting until Dave Ewart and Matrix get to the line, because those two will be the next one in position to either set laps or improve on lap times.
Yeah. Yep. Torpedo comes in as... Who's that? Gabo comes in. As does Odin. His teammate comes in. XRRL Jigsaw.
Well, this is good news for Dave Ewart, and this will also be good news for Matrix, because it looks like the track is going to be pretty bloody clean for both of them. Dave Ewart comes across the line. He needs to shoot for pole under any circumstance possible.
Let's see what Dave can set. I'm hoping he can maybe scratch the surface of the 116s, especially since he's in that Merc. I don't know if he will, though, because we've seen he is not a very consistent driver with his lap times in qualifying. He does miss the apex on that corner, but that is a big ouch on his part. There was a total of 2 cars on this track.
27.4.
That is good news for the both of them. Matrix just getting onto his hot lap now in that Alfa Romeo as he comes through the...
Big twitch by Dave. That's the same place we've seen those Mercedes struggling at.
Oh, he almost lost it in there, too?
Yeah, but he kept it together. It's still legal, it's still clean, but he definitely sacrificed a bit of time. Again,
Yeah,
the Mercedes are very, very fast, but they're also very temperamental as well. And when you put the fastest drivers in the slowest cars and the slowest drivers in the fastest cars, sometimes the people in the Mercedes just struggle to make good use of those machines.
Davey just comes close to the final corner now. A lot of people are coming back out at for more hot laps.
Yeah, Ozda, Fizzy, and Galbo have all come back out onto the circuit. As Dave comes out of the final corner, 117.425. That's good enough for 4th at the moment.
XRRL Matrix comes around the approach of the final corner, halfway through the corner, and his exit. Let's see what he sets. That rear wing opens up. Good to see. Boom, 5th,
117.469. So that's good enough for 5th at the moment.
Asda will be the next person to set a lap time here as he comes on the final corner of his out lap. Now he's crawling onto his hot lap. Let's see what he can do.
Dave is actually up on time. I think Dave's going to try and improve here.
I think, yeah, Dave might get cock-blocked a little by these people ahead of him, though. I don't know if he will, but he might.
He is absolutely flying right now, and there are 2 cars on outlaps ahead. If Fizzy wants to do anything cute and try to start the tires. Ooh, look at Dave slide the rear of that Mercedes. He aborted. He was up on time, but he's aborted.
I want to know why.
Well, Matrix is also a little bit up on time at the end of Sector 1, but the fuel light is flashing. Will he commit or will he abort? Nah, he's going to abort. He's down on time now. So now the focus, like you said, goes to Fizzy, Ozda, and Gabo, but Ozda's invalidated, so it goes to Gabo, who has set a purple Sector 1.
I want to see what he can do as he comes just around the big white curb that everyone usually spins on. Comes onto the big curb there. Beautiful chicane. That was nice. Comes onto the grass just a little bit. That's alright though.
Jabez John and Mr. Worson have both come out onto the circuit, so they're going to be turning laps in shortly as well.
Here we go, and he finishes Sector 2. Purple Sector 2 by 5/10. That is good to see on his personal time. He's 5/10 up on a lap. That is nice. Let's see as he finishes up Sector 3 here. With that Alfa Romeo of Fizzy right behind him.
Out of the final corner for Gabo.
What does he
DRS
set?
opens. He will
He
set
set
a 116. Provisional pole for the moment. Here comes Fizzy to the line, 116.8. So the AlphaTauri still have speed here.
What can Fizzy pull out of his hat here? I really want to know. Asda, though, he's on a hot lap currently. Asda will be the next to cross that line. Asda is on such a push lap right now. He goes a little bit wide.
He's
He
invalidated.
invalidates. He's just pushing.
And
a
he's
little
almost out of
too
fuel, and it's probably knocked the best off his tires. I think for Ozda, it's just pushing too hard, just misjudging what he could do. And with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left, they may just... Oh! Did he just get disconnected?
I think he disconnected.
That sucks.
Very much so. Right.
Well, he's still in, and if he can get reconnected before they start the race, we should be good. So
Heads
now the
turned to
focus
Jebus
goes
John.
to Jabus John and Mr. Worsen.
Can James John set a good time? He gets purple sector 1 of his on his current lap. Doesn't use the outside curb coming into the chicane. That might cost him a little bit of time, to be honest with you. I usually touch that curb every time I'm around here. Fizzy though with a 163. Wow, that
Worsen
is a good
goes.
lap.
And while Fizzy takes the top spot, Worsen goes drifting in that second sector chicane there. He's still in the middle of a legal lap, but it's not a great lap to say the least.
Jigsaw currently on a hot lap. Dave currently on a hot lap. Javis currently on a hot lap. Javis is about to cross the line actually. He's just coming into the final corner. Mr. Wilson is he's going slow. He's trying to save tires, I think.
Yeah.
As
Worsen had that
Javis John
drift
crosses the
there
line.
in sector 2.
Oof. Javis John does not
Not
move
looking good
any
for Javis John.
positions. Ugh.
Well, Torpedo also is in the middle of the lap, and it's pretty much clean track ahead. There is an Alpine on circuit ahead of him. I believe that will be Jigsaw, but I think he's far enough up that it won't compromise his line. Torpedo looking to try and stay ahead, get ahead of Matrix in any way possible.
Yeah, I think Torpedo is going to have to either pit next lap or he's going to just have to try and overtake Jigsaw, to be honest with you. Because I think that
To
dirty
the
air might
line for
affect him.
Torpedo.
Fourth position.
116.950. That's up for 4th, and he had enough time when he crossed the line. He can go for it again.
All the fast laps are coming out now. Here we go.
Flavor coming out of the final corner. He's going to go for another shot, trying to improve his time a bit. Dave Ewart coming to the line. Is he going to be up? The answer is no, but he might be setting up for a better following lap.
Alright, XRRL Matrix just crawls onto his hot lap now. Javis John just finishing up his sector 3 as Mr. Wilson finishes up his sector 2.
Fizzy has come into pit lane, so he will not try to go faster. He thinks that 16.3 will
Javis
be good
John,
enough to hold pole.
he does not move. Mr. Wilson, can he improve? Mr. Wilson almost loses the back end though, coming into the final corner.
And time's up, over, plow. So the lap that you're on the middle of now is what matters.
Mr.
Wilson jumps up
Wilson,
to 6, 17.3. Here comes Jigsaw. He drifts in the second to last corner. That will kill his lap. He's not going to be able to improve.
goes. Oh, he's in.
He's aborted. Yeah, Torpedo got his lap held up by Jigsaw's little drift show there. So it's over for him. 4th is the best that he can do.
Heads turn to Flavor. Heads turn to XRL Flavor. What can he do? I don't know if he's on a good lap currently. I can't see. What can he do though? What can he do?
15, 16, 17. He jumps up to 5th, 17.103. That would be one of his best qualifying attempts ever. Now here comes Matrix to the line. Does he improve? Up to 7th with a 17.259. John is in 10th. Can he find anything? I don't think so. He is out of fuel.
Alpha. And James John cannot do much here. So yeah, he's gonna come in.
And with that, the session is over. For the AlphaTauri team, it looks like they, with Ferrari, again, not being able to bring anyone to the track, it looks like AlphaTauri is going to seize this manufacturer's hunt by the balls, qualifying 1st and 4th. For Matrix, it's not looking good because he is 7th while his title rival is up there in 4th.
Wow, that was a decent lap by everyone there. I think Fizzy might be pretty damn happy with that.
We try not to curse too much.
I'm aware. That's why I'm not swearing like a trucker. Dave's AI. Just, going
Wait,
for
I thought you were. I'm not good. Never mind. We're in the middle of broadcast. Not now. Now's not a good time to be cracking jokes. All right. Looking at our top 10 right now. So on pole position will be Fizzy in the AlphaTauri. 2nd will be Gabo in the Williams. 3rd will be Jigsaw in the Alpine. 4th will be Torpedo in the other AlphaTauri. 5th will be Flavor in the Red Bull. Outstanding qualifying run by him. 6th will be Ozda in the Alpine. 7th and 8th, the 4th row will be shared by Matrix and Worsen in the Alphas. 9th will be Dave Ewart in the Mercedes. And 10th will be Jabez John in the Aston Martin.
That is a pretty interesting, good to say the least. AlphaTauri must be happy with that. Same with Williams. As you know, in real life, Williams rarely see themselves in, Q2 at most. So that's Gabo's really helping out the Williams team currently. Alpine probably pretty happy right now as well. Alfa Romeo probably ecstatic. Same with AlphaTauri, like I said. James John probably pretty happy with just making it to Q3 in general.
Mm-hmm.
And now we head off onto the race.
5-minute wait until we get into the race itself.
Yes, sir. I feel like I should also state that one of my friends is currently watching, so if you wanted to say hi to him, you can. He's currently messaging me on Snapchat. So I'm excited to see what everyone's strategies are today, though. I wonder if anyone's gonna try and do some undercuts, overcuts. We'll see.
Yeah. There may have to be a lobby restart regarding the circumstance for Ozda, because word is that Ozda might not have been able to jump back into the lobby before the session ended. If that is the case, there is a risk that he will not be able to get back into his car, and if it is an AI car, we may have to do a lobby restart. No guarantee yet. Right now, we're betting that we can start on normal times. But real quickly, let's go ahead and look at the championship standings as they are right now. First up, we'll look at the manufacturers' fight. At the bottom, Mercedes with only 92 points. They need to earn 8 points. They still have not yet broken the triple digits. It has been disastrous for them this season. Red Bull is 9th. They have 131 points. Haas is 8th with 157. Alpine is 7th with 168 points. McLaren is 6th with 174. Alfa Romeo 5th with 193 points. Aston Martin is 4th with 233. Williams is 3rd with 274. Ferrari is 2nd with 303, and they will leave with that exact same number of points because there are no Ferrari drivers for today's race. Leading the Manufacturers' Championship points coming into today, AlphaTauri with 322, and with both of their cars looking relatively well, it looks like they might be able to extend that. In the Drivers' Championship, things are a little bit more different. Yun is 20th with 26 points, 19th is Bullbeast with 37, 18th is Ozza with 44, 17th is Ocean Lion with 51. There is a tie for 15th between Frisbee and Level 6 BCM. They both have 52 points. 14th is Mr. Worsen, and he is coming to a tie with Jigsaw for 13th. They both have 64 points. 12th is Fizzy with 68 points. 11th is XRRL with 76. Flavor is 10th with 79 points. 9th is Gabo with 88. 8th is Dragon with 90. 7th is Waddington with 108 points. 6th is Zola with 118 points. 5th is Davis Clown with 130. 4th is Ryan Hurricane with 159. 3rd is Smoothie 25 with 165. And then you get to your two championship contenders. 2nd is Torpedo with 219 points. 1st is Matrix with 247 points right now. Like I said earlier, if Torpedo can average 7 or more points over Matrix every race to the end of the season, he will win the championship, but he cannot afford to see Matrix at all unless it is a lap down. He needs to be so far ahead of him in order to close up this title fight. Yeah, word is that Ozza is having trouble getting properly connected into his car, so there might end up being a lobby restart depending on how bad the AI start ends up being.
Well, we are few minutes out from the race start, so I'm actually excited to see this race start, especially for Hungary. I'm hoping we do not see, kind of what happened in real life at Hungary. That wouldn't be nice to see, as satisfying as it would be to watch half of the grid just die. It would not be fun for everyone. I'm gonna eat my trail mix.
Just stand by right now. We should be getting underway in about 2 minutes or a little bit less.
Let me check. Yeah, just a minute and a half about. What are your race predictions for today?
Not gonna make predictions. There are way too many random things that could happen. It's not worth making predictions.
As the host announces, giving everyone the let's go signal.
Alright, well, I'll be focusing on the front. So if you see something in the middle of the back of the field on the first lap, go ahead, cut me off, interrupt me. I mean, granted, you're going to see some things, but if you see anything like an instant and crash or something like that, cut me off, I guess.
Okay.
Alright, as we prepare to load onto the circuit now, 17 cars taking the green flag. As we see the lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. As lights out, away we go. A very smooth start by the front 2 rows. Fizzy, Gabo drag racing down to the line. It looks like Gabo just will have it by having the inside. They're 3 wide farther back, and Fizzy gets washed out a little bit wide. Here comes Torpedo, his teammate, to try and get second from him, but Jigsaw wants to really play spoiler. He wants to move back into third. He has the inside going into 2, and he will take it. Or not, because now Torpedo fights back.
Contact with Zola coming into that corner. I feel like I should state that. Doesn't affect Zola though. Zola still tries to keep up with Asda.
Oh, and Jigsaw's around and into the inside wall, out of the top 4 positions, and that will drop him right back to 16th spot.
He has a massive gap to make up now.
Everyone else seems to be navigating relatively well, though. Also of note, BG, Bulbies, and Zola both elected to start this race on hard tire compounds, and Elfin Starfish in a single, not even a full lap is over, and he has moved up into 7th.
Gabo leads by a good 9 tenths, and he's still gaining, kind of.
Yeah, 8 tenths over Fizzy right now, with Torpedo just behind him. Then you have Matrix, Worsen, and Flavor is still 6.
Oh,
now we see
James
Worsen
John
taking a very...
goes for the move. He's gonna try and get down the inside of the other half here.
Elfin Starfish, and he runs in the back! He runs in the back of Frisbee, and now Elfin Starfish gets into him. And for some reason, the game is not counting Frisbee's laps. They're saying that he's back a lap down. We know that's not true, but for some reason, the game is not properly counting Frisbee for where he is.
It gets past Frisbee. Oh, and I think Frisbee is, I don't know what just happened.
Frisbee has a terminal issue.
Oh, the game has put him back in 8th now.
That was weird. Well, now Dave Ewart has a run on Frisbee, trying to go to his inside, go into the back circuit, not backtrack, but that rear chicane, ends up aborting it though.
Dave Ewart is desperate to get back past the 2 halves. They are holding him up majorly. He needs to get past these 2 cars as fast as he can, because he needs to catch up with James John, who is just flying away from the 2 halves currently. As the down in P12, as Zola, for some reason, is a second back on Asda. I want to know what happened to Zola.
Fizzy's just set the fastest lap, 21.864, and Torpedo is closing the gap between 1st and 3rd as well. So it looks like the AlphaTauris are going to be barreling down on that lead Williams sooner rather than later.
So far,
neck and neck, Flavor, Jabez, Don, and Worsen is actually going to stay ahead of Flavor. Don can't capitalize. So Flavor being very aggressive on Worsen, going down the straights here.
Flavor, I think Flavor's going to try and make a move on Wilson really soon.
The problem is there's only 2 overtaking zones, realistically only 1.5 overtaking zones. That's right into turn 1 and then running down to 3. And those both are highly DRS dependent, and if you're not able to make them stick, well, you're not really going to be able to get by him by someone else anywhere else unless that guy ahead of you makes a big mistake. Right now, John has actually closed in on this Worse than Flavor fight for 5th.
Oh, James John, just right on the back of Flavor. Also, the first...
And Frisbee is there in 8th behind them all, and he is running on medium tires, so this battle will go in his favor because everyone ahead of him will have to pit sooner rather than later. And Beastian's out! Beastian is out! He has crashed out there in Sector 2.
Also, the first penalty of the day has been handed out to Asda with a 3 second for multiple warnings. Zola just overtook under safety car. What was that?
Was that a full course safety car?
Actually, no, it's not even a safety car. I thought it was, but no.
Yeah, it was just a regional area, yeah, because it looks like they're going to get Beastian's car removed before someone else comes to him. Flavor has gotten by Worsen using some DRS assist going into 1. So Flavor now up into 5th.
And now he's going to pull away from Worsen. Now he's going to make a big gap.
He's going to try to. He definitely seems to believe that he has the space to do it right now.
Matrix just smooth sailing in 4th place right now. With the 2 Alpha Towers just trying to catch up to Gabo right now. Fizzy's actually only 5 tenths back.
Oh, so. Asda! Asda now falling to 15th. Accident, front wing totally gone on that car. So for the Alpines, who are so good in qualifying, everything has gone apart for them.
They're in last for the running cars now, so this is not a good thing that Alpine wants to see. Plus, Asda has a penalty, so he's not doing too hot right now. But it's 12-13 for the McLarens right now, and I feel like they're falling back a little bit.
Yeah, the McLarens just kind of seem to be stuck where they started the race on, but they have harder rubber, and they're probably betting on the race coming to them as the leaders have to pit. Fizzy has caught Gabo. He is within DRS range of the leader, so we may see an overtake for a lead going down into 1.
Starfish, I think, is having a little bit of rear downforce issues because I'm seeing
for the
his back
lead.
end slide
Fizzy
over.
outside, Gabo inside, neck and neck. Fizzy can't keep it together. They'll
James
have
John
DRS
passes
on the following
Mr.
run.
Wilson. Dave goes for the move. He gets pushed off. He gets squeezed off.
Side by side for a lead still, and it is going to be Fizzy. Gabo gets run off the track a bit by Fizzy, and the big wild card in that is that all that fighting has let Torpedo close in on this fight. Torpedo now needs to see if he can figure out a way to get by the Williams of Gabo.
Torpedo, I think, has a different setup. He's not as quick as the 2 cars ahead of him.
Well, he started a little bit farther back in the grid.
I think I'm seeing understeer off of his car.
Well, he also is dealing with the aerodynamic wake of the drivers ahead. But we did see this at Silverstone last week. Fizzy was faster than Torpedo most of the race, but in the closing segments, Fizzy stepped aside to let Torpedo get by. And when he did, we saw Torpedo really open up the true pace of that thing. I think Torpedo has built a setup that is focused on running more in clean air. Right now, he'll be struggling a bit, but he does have DRS off Gabo. The counterpoint, though, is that Gabo has DRS off of Fizzy. This is going to be an interesting run for the lead. Fight for a lead once again.
Frisbee is going to be sitting in the slipstream of Mr. Wilson. He's just going to try and make some sort of move stick coming into turn 1. Dave has no chance of getting a position in turn 1. Frisbee, though, right on the rear end of Mr. Wilson. Jevis really has to kind of just drive defensively a little bit because Mr. Wilson could pull some kind of move out of his hat and just try and get that position off of him. Frisbee gets very close to the rear end of Mr. Wilson. Dave is currently just sitting right behind, waiting for something that he can just snatch. Starfish and Bullbeast currently semi-battling. Bullbeast is trying to pull away as Starfish is trying to keep that distance between and maybe close it up a little bit. Oh!
Asda's out!
Dave almost loses the car.
Full course safety car, and Asda has crashed out in Sector 3, and that is a full course safety car, and now everything gets turned on its head because the top 7 could all choose to pit now and get onto a different set of tires.
And I think that's what they're gonna do. I really think that's what they're gonna do.
All right, coming into the party now is XRRL Asda. Asda, go ahead, include your audio. Big accident. What happened that took you out there?
Asda might not be able to hear me, actually. Maybe a connection issue.
It might
Well,
be.
on track, here's a little bit of interesting scenario. Frisbee elects not to pit because he started on the medium rubber, so now Frisbee is going to pick up a bunch of positions. In fact, I think Frisbee's going to walk out of this with the race lead, and now Bullbeast on the hards is going to be second. Starfish and the other Haas is going to be third. This has really upended the pace of this race.
I agree with you completely. Look at all the people still in the pits. They're just coming out now. Matrix, though, he's still in the top 10. That's good to see. Busy, though. He's, he pit and he's still only in 4th. That's good to see. Frisbee, though, he's gonna have a tiny little bit of things to worry about, especially since everyone's just got on fresh tires. And so, he's gonna have to drive a little defensively, I think.
Also, good news for Jigsaw is that with this happening, he will get a chance to properly catch the back of the grid now, at least.
Worse than done.
Oh yeah, Worson's crashed out! Under the safety car, Mr. Worson has crashed out in Sector 1.
That is an interesting spot to crash out, if I do say so myself. It looks like he just pulled over and stopped. I think maybe like an engine issue. I don't even know what happened.
And it says he's already left as well, so maybe there's been a issue beyond anything else that occurred. I honestly don't know, but for Jigsaw, this now moves him up into 14th, and he just has to catch the back of the grid. Right now, it's looking like we'll be going green on lap 9. We're just about a 10th of the way through this race, and already 3 DNFs. Beastie and Ozda Worsen. So, like the exhibition race that we had here before the season started, it looks like this may be an event where it all comes down to, hey, just survive to the end of the race.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think Bullbeast might actually get the position off of Frisbee instantly, but at the same time, everyone basically before 4th has pit for new mediums. I don't see a singular soft tire. Everyone's on mediums and hards, so they're all playing the long game for this one.
Well, from what I've heard is that ideally you can make this a 1-stop or 2-stop race, depending on how you look at it. If you start on the softs, you're going to want to jump onto mediums and then jump onto hards later. If you start on the mediums, you want to go medium hard. If you start on the hards, you want to go hard medium. Now you see Jigsaw, he's come in, they've taken off hard tires, and they've thrown on mediums for him. So Jigsaw's probably anticipating making one more stop later on, but he's going to be on tires now that will match everyone else on track. I think the big thing, interesting thing though, is going to be the fact that you look at our top 3 drivers, Frisbee, BG, Bullbeast, Starfish, they now have massive advantage when it comes to track position, and they have good tires as well. I think, I'm not going to say this is going to give them the win, because there's still way too much of this race left, but this is definitely giving them a positive, especially Bullbeast, because 7 extra laps on hards is almost nothing compared to somebody on fresh mediums. I'm just going to say, I think the top 3 have put themselves in a very, very good position. One guy who I think is not in a good position, though, XRRL Torpedo, because those AlphaTaris were so close to each other, they basically ended up double stacking. Now, Torpedo is behind his title rival, Matrix, on the track. Matrix is 9th and Torpedo is 10th. That's the exact opposite of what Torpedo was.
I agree, and I think everyone's just kind of waiting for the safety car to come up. Frisbee's fallen back a little bit. I don't know why. Ah, there we go.
There's the word.
So, yep, everyone's just going to be sitting there warming up their tires. I think there's going to be a few people who are just going to just snip on by someone. Because I think everyone's very desperate for some positions, especially people under 10th. A lot of the people under 10th want some points in this league. So, oh! Torpedo just made contact with Matrix under safety car.
I don't see any words that there's been any penalties given. Alright. Boy, Frisbee really holding the field up right now.
I feel he's going to make a jump halfway through the corner. Yes, he is. There he goes.
Bullbeast did not let him get away, though. It's Haas, Williams, Haas for the top 3 positions. Bullbeast trying to stay in the draft. Starfish is right there behind him. Gabo on Zola. Gabo easily walks by Zola. The hard tires that Zola has just cannot cope at all compared to the mediums. Flavor around to the back.
Oh, no.
And he had been up in 4th as high as 5th earlier. Now, all the way back to last on the circuit. Not how he wanted to see us go. Gabo is not done yet. He wants to try and make something happen to Fizzy, who's ahead of him.
Oh, Ocean Lion.
Ocean Lion. Yeah, Lions just lost 2 positions. He's trying to fight with Zola, but it's causing a lot of chaos. Now here comes Matrix.
Oh, here we go.
Matrix going to the inside.
James John trying to do something there. I don't know what he does. Oh, Ocean Line takes too much curb.
And Torpedo got caught up in all that. He backed so far off, he's fallen to 13th. The title fight seems to be slipping into Matrix's hands right now.
Starfish just trying to keep that gap with Ball Beast, just trying to not fall back. He wants that DRS for when it gets activated. Frisbee though, wow, he is pulling away. He desperately wants to get away from Ball Beast. He does not want to be near him.
Yeah, he knows that if DRS comes into play, there's nothing that the Haas can do as defense. The Haas, by far the slowest car in a straightaway.
Yeah, and I think Torpedo's gonna try
Fizzy
and make a move
gets
on
by
Jigsaw,
Elfin Starfish. And now Gabo tried to get by Starfish, couldn't make it stick. He's into the grass, he's into the wall, hard into the wall, tire ripped off. Gabo out of the race now.
He went for a risky move that didn't stick, and there went his race.
I can't fault him for trying, but that was a high-risk move, and at least in my opinion, that's one he should have considered not going for right now.
That is good news for the McLaren drivers who are in 5-6 now, especially Starfish too. He is happy about that. Now he has a good gap to the McLaren behind him. All he has to do is get ahead of Fizzy, and I know he can. Starfish has shown a lot of strength in this Haas, and I think if he pushes real hard, he might be able to get past Fizzy if he just tries hard enough.
Torpedo now gets by Jigsaw, so Torpedo is back up into the 11th spot now.
Torpedo's going to try and make
has
a
to
move
cut
on
his way
Dave.
through the yeah, but Torpedo needs to cut his way up through the entire grid right now, and that is going to be nothing short of a pain in his rear.
I think
Well, Frisbee's done a good job getting outside of DRS range. He is 1.2 seconds out from BG Bullbeast right now.
James Jaw's going to make a move on Ocean. Down the inside of the last corner. He's going to get DRS too, I think.
Drag
DRS
race,
is not activated
John,
yet.
Ocean Lion for 8th.
James John just
John will get
by.
it.
That is good to see. Ocean Line is right on his ass. Oh, can Ocean Line get it back?
No, that's a negative. In fact, it looks like Dave is actually close right up behind his teammate.
Dave is going to try and get it.
But there's no good overtaking spots here without DRS, so frankly, Dave just has to wait now until Ocean Line does something to let him by.
Yeah, but
And
Dave
Torpedo is now right there on the back of this. This is going to be a massive DRS train from about Zola all the way back to Torpedo now.
This is really something. I think Torpedo's desperate to get by Dave, and Dave is desperate to get by Ocean. So I feel like it's gonna happen of just them climbing through the field together. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. But Frisbee gets a 3-second.
At the lead, and that 3-second time penalty will have massive negative effects going forward in the event.
I really think Frizzy's gonna push even harder, which might make him make an error.
Watch this fight. Watch this fight for 6th and 7th, because Zola is leading a train of cars, and Matrix is right behind him. He'll have DRS to try and get by the McLaren going into 1.
Matrix tries to take a shorter line to close that gap more. He's gonna sit in the slipstream. He's gonna try and make a move, maybe in turn 1. I don't know. Is he gonna go? He's gonna go down the inside, I think. Yes, he does. He's gonna go down the inside. Oh, but he can't brake late enough.
Can't make it stick, but he'll have DRS in the subsequent straightaway as well.
And he's gonna get it, I think. Goes around the outside.
Zola holding the inside though.
That
doesn't matter. Matrix has it.
Now James John is gonna try and do the exact same thing as Zola, I think, unless Zola makes an error.
Matrix also going to try and run down Dragon. And of note, Dragon is on worn medium tires. They're not badly worn, but they're more worn than Matrix is. And I imagine Matrix will suck right up to the rear of that McLaren.
James John just visually desperate. Oh!
Ooh, Zola, big twitch in the
Zola's
chicane.
tires are starting to go, I think.
I don't think that's the fact that they're starting to go. I think it's the fact that the hards just don't have a lot of grip here to begin with.
That too, and I think you also might have a bad setup. But look at Ocean Line and... Oh! Ocean Line taking a lot of curb there. Dave just holding on to that gap with Ocean Line away. James John, I think he's just kind of waiting for Zola to make a mistake or something, though.
So now Dragon is right there behind Starfish. I mean, Matrix is right there behind Dragon. It took a single lap for that Alfa Romeo to catch
There he
the
goes.
McLaren.
There he goes.
This is going to be an easy overtake. There's nothing Dragon can do.
There he goes, down the inside. He's going to brake a little bit later, I think. Oh, he broke on the street.
Farther behind, Jabez John does the exact same thing to Zola.
Down the inside. DRS again. And he goes. Dragon did get that good angle.
Dragon's trying to hold the inside and deny it to him. Fizzy's crashed down ahead.
Matrix gets the position as they come around that corner where Fizzy just died.
And the drivers keep dropping like flies here. But Matrix has now gone up into 4th position.
Jabez John did get past Zola too while we were watching that battle. He's gonna try and get past Dragon, I think. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I think he's desperate to get past these two McLarens because he needs to chase down Matrix.
Matrix is gone from the McLarens. In fact, Jabez John immediately sucked right up to Dragon. I think you're right. I don't think the McLarens are very well set. All right, coming in the party right now is Fizzy. Fizzy, go ahead and include your audio. You look like one of the strongest cars out there, and then suddenly it crashed and you're out. What happened?
Honestly, mate, not a clue. I had no turbo issues, no tire temperature issues. It's just spun and went. I have no idea what happened. I'd love to have a look at it, but I really haven't got a clue what happened. The car felt amazing, and as you could see, I was catching the leader. It was quite quick. Just have no idea. This is what it is.
Alright. Well, shame to see you out like this. However, your teammate is still there, and at least for the manufacturer's title fight, it looks like you guys are still in a really good position.
Your teammate did just overtake Ocean Line away, just for your awareness. So now he is chasing down the two McLarens.
Nice.
Shame, Fizzy, do you think you'll be able to recover next week when they go to Spa?
Maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm not too great at Spa. But, this is one of my best tracks, so it's something to do with it. I have no idea what happened there. So, it is what it is.
Alright, thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us, mate. Alright, so we turn our focus back onto the track. We're only about 1/5 of the way through the event, and already we've lost nearly 1/3 of our starters. But at the front, it is Haas, Williams, Haas, Frisbee, Bowlby, Starfish as track position.
Look at this
YouTube
three-way
just having
battle.
a better starting.
Look at this three-way battle for 7th. Ocean Line away, right on the rear end of Torpedo. Torpedo's right on the rear end of Zola. Wow, this is a good battle.
And Zola is there behind Dragon, so Zola can use DRS to try and get by his teammate and keep Torpedo behind him.
Yeah.
Again, the McLarens are the one car that actually beats the AlphaTauris in a straight line. In a straight line, the McLarens are generally assumed to be the fastest, with the AlphaTauris next fastest. I don't think Torpedo's going to be able to get by the McLarens very easily unless something really strange happens.
Oh, and he goes
Oh,
wide.
he misses the corner altogether.
Zola tries to...
Yeah, Zola and Dragon are fighting.
Now Dragon has to defend.
Yeah.
Zola is desperate to get around his teammates, so his teammate who might be able to defend better can hold off those 3 people behind him.
Well, also of note when it comes to tires, though, Zola is on hards. He can go almost forever, it will feel like, on this set of rubber. Dragon is on mediums that will start feeling their wear a bit. Torpedo is on medium. Oh, twitched by Dragon. Very nearly spun out. He saved it, but that will drop him right back to 9th.
Can we talk about how Jigsaw has made a beautiful recovery back up to 8th?
So now Torpedo has to only focus on Zola again. And Zola is not close enough to A1 ahead to have DRS as a defense. So if Torpedo can time this right, he might be able to just DRS past Zola. But then once he does that, he still needs to worry about Jabez John ahead. And then he has to get by Matrix, who's up there in 4th, fighting for 3rd. Matrix is just blowing by the Haas's. Nothing can stop Matrix, it seems. Matrix could literally just keep playing like this, miss the last race of the season, still win the title.
Starfish gets past.
Starfish using some DRS shenanigans to keep Matrix behind him.
Starfish is still going to have DRS. Look at that. He's just going to try and sit in the slipstream, try and keep up a little bit. Jabez John just kind of watching that battle from Torpedo. Oh, Jigsaw gets past Torpedo.
Yeah, this title fight seems to be basically over with how poorly Torpedo has been screwed over from the yellow flag compared to Matrix just walking by everyone, it seems. I think this title fight might end up being over by the end of this race, unless something really crazy happens here, because it seems like nothing can be done to stop Matrix the fresh rubber that he has basically trounces the track position that other drivers have on circuit.
I agree with you completely, but Torpedo just kind of, I think he's going to get that DRS and he's going to try and slip past Jigsaw, I think. I don't know if he will because Jigsaw is also going to have DRS.
Well, Jigsaw's going to have DRS on Zola, though, and Zola is in a McLaren, which is great in a straight line, so I don't think we're going to see a whole lot more overtakes on that part of the circuit. Here's something interesting, though. Jabez John has closed in a bit to the back of the Starfish Matrix battle.
Oh, yes, too, and Matrix is just going to get by him on the straight here, too. If he cranks his ERS and he sits in that slipstream, he's going to get by, I think.
Yeah,
And
there's
he's
going to
doing
be
exactly
no...
that. And I think he's
Starfish defending the extreme inside,
Starfish
so
sends him
Matrix
around the
runs
outside,
wide.
the longer route. But Matrix
Won't
is still
matter,
gonna have
though,
DRS.
because... Yeah, Matrix will still have DRS, and it's a run downhill, so this is still going to work in his favor.
Is
The
he
Haas
gonna go
defends
around
the
the
inside line.
The Haas kind of squeezes
He
him off a little bit.
runs the point leader a little bit wide. He holds it
What
for
a
just one
defense
more
by
lap.
Starfish. Oh, but Jabez is right there now. He's right on the rear of Matrix.
And Matrix is on better tires than Starfish, but the longer Starfish can stay ahead of Matrix, the quicker, the best of that rubber will get knocked off. And again, John is there. He could really be throwing a spanner into the works here.
I think
Ooh,
Matrix.
twitch by Jabez John behind, but he keeps it together.
I think Matrix is gonna get him on the main straight though. If he gets a little bit closer, I think he's gonna stick it.
Yeah, I honestly don't... It's an honorable fight by Starfish, but frankly, Matrix is just so much faster, has the DRS advantage, has fresh tires. I think that there's really nothing that can be done to keep Matrix behind.
Oh, I thought Starfish was going in for a second.
Nah, the mediums are only 16 laps worn.
Here we go. Oh, Matrix is too far back. I think it's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough.
He'll be enough to be alongside of him.
Will he get him on the downhill?
Oh, John dives to the inside of Matrix. He runs Matrix now wide a bit.
But he can't get it still.
Nah, but that held Matrix up behind Starfish for another lap, though. So Matrix's charge up through the field is stalled. This reminds me of Hamilton's charge up last year here and how he was held up for so long by...
Torpedo! Torpedo gets Jigsaw! Finally,
Incredible job.
Now Torpedo has to close that gap in on Zola as fast as he can.
Zola on the hard tires that they aren't going to really fall off. They're still going to be working well. And again, the McLarens have good straight line speed, better than the AlphaTauris. Looking back at the fight for third. Yeah, but Frizzy also has a 3-second time penalty as well, so he's going to want to open that a bit more if he can.
Yeah. I think
Matrix right there behind Starfish once again.
I think Matrix is gonna have to wait a few more laps to even be able to overtake Starfish really good. Because I think he's
I don't
falling
think
back
so.
a
I
little
think
bit.
right now, I think for Matrix, I think it's just a matter that he's just waiting. He knows. Because again, Matrix doesn't need to fight for wins. Matrix, yes, is going to dive hard to the inside. The Haas is going to block him off. A bit of contact. And there goes John behind him.
There goes Torpedo.
And
Torpedo gets past Jigsaw again and Zola.
So Torpedo now goes from 7th to 5th, well 8th to 5th in the span of about 2 laps. Now it's a 5-second gap between himself and Matrix, his title rival.
Now Torpedo has to push as hard as he can. He has to set constant qualifying laps to try and catch up to Matrix. But Matrix is getting held up with that dirty air from Starfish, so I think Torpedo, with his clean air, he might be able to catch up a little bit.
But the thing is, though, now Matrix doesn't have to worry about someone right behind him giving him problem. Matrix can just lay sheer on DRS, go sheer overtake, balls to the wall to overtake that Haas. I think the advantage is still in Matrix's favor. It's still in Matrix's favor.
Yeah, and I think I'm seeing Starfish slowly starting to, I think his tires are slowly starting to
Yeah,
get
Starfish
more
is
and more.
Yeah, I agree. I think Starfish is fading, running so aggressively, trying to keep the Alfa Romeo behind him.
I think he's wearing his tires a lot. He needs to play more defensively and not offensively. I think he needs to just try and...
Well, he's playing super defensively, but it's still going to wear the tires. It doesn't matter. You're still going to be burning the best off of him.
Oh, come on, Matrix.
Here it is. This is the overtake. There's nothing the Haas can do this time, or can he? He runs the Alfa Romeo wide. Contact! drag race. The Alfa Romeo still has drag reduction engaged. He has the inside line. This is it. The fight's over.
Just like that, yeah! Matrix finally past Starfish. Now Torpedo has to just very much get the Haas, quickly past the Haas, and then just continue that chase on Matrix. Matrix has to close a 7.5 second gap to Bull Beast. Jigsaw still behind Zola. Someone's off!
Starfish! That's Starfish! Who was just fell to 4th, and now he will fall all the way to 9th. Actually, he's gonna fall to 11th behind James John and Dave Ewart as well. So, for Torpedo, again, now there's no one between himself and Matrix, but now Matrix, again, clean air all around. It's still looking great for Matrix right now.
It's clean air versus clean air against the Alpha Tauri versus the Alfa Romeo. So this is pure driver skill at this point between these two drivers.
Well, even then, no, Matrix still has the advantage because Matrix has spent a lot more time in cleaner air than Torpedo. Torpedo's probably burnt all the best off that rubber. Matrix still has a little bit more. I think the advantage still goes in Matrix's favor.
I don't know. We'll see today. Torpedo.
Meanwhile, in the fight for 9th, Dave Ewart around the outside of James John. DRS with side-by-side braking zone. Contact! They're around! They're both around!
They both spun!
And Dave right in the middle of the racing line. Elephant Starfish just barely manages by them. All three drivers spinning at the exact same point on the racetrack. What the calamity?
Jacobs is dead! He's in the wall!
What in the devil? And that's a full course safety car. And for Torpedo, that's great because it sucks him right back up behind Matrix.
So many people are gonna pit right now. There's so many people that are gonna pit. They want to right now. And I think right now is the time.
Nah, they won't. If they're gonna pit, they'll be probably throwing on hards because right now you want to maintain, you want to make as few pit stops as possible, I'd imagine.
Frisbee's in.
Yeah, Frisbee's pitting. What about Bull Beast in second?
Bull Beast is in.
Yep, what about Matrix? Nah, Matrix is going to stay out. He wants the track position. He feels track position is king. Now, at the speed he has, that may be the right call.
Out. Zola.
Yeah, Torpedo staying out as well.
Jigsaw in. Dragon in. Flavor in.
So your two championship rivals are going to be 1-2 on the racetrack now.
I think Dave's gonna come in. No, he stays out. No, he's in.
Yeah, he's in. Late commitment, but he is in. I guarantee you Starfish
spin.
will come in.
Oh,
and Ocean Lion,
on softs.
Interesting decision, so Flavor absolutely will have to make probably one, if not two more softs before the end, but Flavor will also potentially be faster, and he's right there behind his rival, Dragon. Flavor and Dragon had a bit of a spat earlier in the season at Yas Marina, and they've been fighting back and forth throughout, but since that rivalry has started, Flavor almost always has outpointed Dragon race after race, and now Flavor can take the fight to his rival once more, so that could be interesting. Starfish also in the Haas, they've elected to throw on softs on that Haas as well, so very interesting scenario there, because on the other end, on the other extreme, Frisbee, who is 4th, he's on hards and will likely try to run those tires to the end of this race.
Both Mercedes have jumped onto they're both on hards currently, and then
yeah. This is gonna get weird.
yeah.
Also, only 11 cars left. At this rate, one more guy drops out. Everyone here walks out here with points. For Torpedo, honestly, I think in his opinion, he's going to want to try and get by Matrix, and then even more than that, he'll want Matrix to make some sort of mistake, have some sort of accident that'll keep him from getting any points and just not being able to finish this race. Right now, Torpedo needs Matrix to DNF.
Both of the championship contenders here, Matrix and Torpedo, are both on 14 lap old mediums. So it's all going to come down to overtaking ability, and then in a few laps, maybe DRS if Matrix holds on to that position for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're right, because Matrix has in possibly a better car with a better setup, but Torpedo has better straightaway speed. If DRS comes into play, Torpedo with that DRS, yeah, he'll easily blow by Matrix, but around the rest of the circuit, it's really hard to say who's going to be better. I honestly think it's going to be Matrix, because again, Matrix spent a little bit more time in cleaner air. I think his tires are going to be in slightly better condition. But here's the other thing to consider between these two, though. Because they have not pitted, eventually these tires, they're going to have to pit again. When these two drivers pit again, they're both going to be buried back in the middle of the field again. So that's something else to consider.
I agree, honestly, completely. I think Torpedo's gonna give Matrix a good run for his money, though.
Yeah. All right, Starfish came back into the pits and took off the soft tires to throw on a set of mediums now. That's a little bit more reasonable, and we'll see him rush up to the back of the grid. I think he'll catch the back of the grid just in time for us to go green coming on to lap 24.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised both Mercedes are on Harrods though. They're definitely playing the long game. Zola's got Frisbee ahead though, and Frisbee is a very fast driver. So I think Zola's gonna have to try and hold down the fort for P5 off of Jigsaw.
Yeah, Frisbee may be a fast driver, but Zola is in a much better car. Honestly, I think McLaren is the best overall. Yes, the Red Bull and the Mercedes are better under realistic circumstances, but nothing against them, but the drivers in the Red Bull and Mercedes cars just do not have the level of pace or consistency that the McLaren drivers do, especially Zola. I think Zola will walk by Frisbee if he gets the chance.
Safety car is in this lap, and that announcement was so late, sorry.
Doesn't matter, it will be good enough for them. Matrix controls the field. Torpedo is in second. He needs to time this right. Bullbeast is third. He could really upset things with fresh rubber. Coming out of the final corner, they put the power down. Matrix caught Torpedo unawares. Bullbeast has a good restart.
Bullbeast sits in Torpedo's slipstream as Torpedo does the same for Matrix. Bullbeast
dive bomb! Not only does he go for the move, he completes the move without issue.
Oh, that is not good news for Torpedo. Torpedo did not want to see that happen.
And that's perfect news for Matrix, though, because now Matrix just needs to walk off. Zola is going to overtake Frisbee, or is he? Frisbee barely holds on to the inside. He'll keep that position for the moment. Now Jigsaw is there in sixth. He's behind the McLaren. He wants to sneak by.
And someone's off.
Ocean Lion and Davey Ward, the Mercedes in the same area that had their instance in qualifying, have it again. This time, though, there's no Red Bull there to get caught up as well. At the front, though, Bullbeast right behind Matrix. He is not letting the leader by. Bullbeast wants to walk out here and make a third victory for Williams this season.
I don't know if Bullbeast is going to do it because Matrix is quite fast and he's got that clean air. So
yeah, but Bullbeast has the better tires, and DRS, although it's not going to be here, DRS will be kicking in a few laps. I think Bullbeast will be the first driver to give Matrix any serious fight.
I agree with that one too. Torpedo though, he's falling back. Oh, XRRL Zola gets the move off of Frisbee. Frisbee not even going to try and fight back for that. I think he's going to try and defend off of Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Haas. There's absolutely nothing that the Haas can do on restarts. In fact, Frisbee Frisbee nearly ran Jigsaw off the road. He almost did it again, coming out of four there. And that leaves Jigsaw open to attack from Flavor, potentially.
Starfish is battling Flavor right now. There's a Haas battling a Red Bull. You don't see this very often.
I mean, in this series you do, but...
yeah, but still.
Alright, meanwhile, back at the front, Bullbeast is right there. About a third of a second out from Matrix at the moment as they exit Sector 2. Torpedo just needs to try and hold on within DRS range. He does a good job closing on the front straightaway, but other than that, he seems to be slipping. The worn tires on Torpedo's car is not helping him.
Oh, and
Bullbeast just set the fastest lap. I think he's gonna go for it this time. Into the corner, inside, dive bomb, contact, and he gets him. But Matrix now is fighting back. Side by side, Ferrari power versus Mercedes power into the following corner. Contact again.
Matrix on the outside, he has to back
Bullbeast
off.
gets it! Bullbeast gets it, but this means, though, that Matrix is going to be in a better position now because Matrix will have DRS when they come onto the straightaway the following lap. Also, all that fighting let Torpedo close in a bit, and Zola has closed in as well.
I don't know if Zola's going to be able to do
Bullbeast, he's
much.
got the lead now, but he's not pulling from Matrix at the rate he needs. And if Matrix gets DRS, he's going to probably blow by the Williams without issue. Frisbee! No! Frisbee out now as he has crashed. One of the Haas drivers have crashed out now.
No! That's not good
Yeah.
news for Starfish's, I think he was relying on Frisbee a little bit to hold up the pack, I think.
All right, out of the final corner now and down the straightaway. Matrix has DRS. Bullbeast immediately defends the inside. Matrix has the draft. He's closing with speed. Right behind the Williams going into one. And we'll get another shot on the run down to turn 3.
Dave with the fastest lap of 121.5. On Harrods, too.
Nothing that Matrix could do to Bullbeast that time by. In fact, I think Matrix has actually lost time to Bullbeast. He's now falling out of the DRS range while Torpedo is closing a bit on his title rival.
Zola just sitting with that gap to Torpedo. Starfish almost loses it.
Jigsaw has gotten by Flavor, and he's still hanging out there behind Zola, currently in the 5th spot. 7 different manufacturers in the top 7 positions right now. But everyone, with the exception of Matrix and Torpedo, your title rivals, are on the exact same strategy at the moment. Alright, onto the front straightaway. Bullbeast is well over a second ahead of Matrix, but Torpedo is within DRS range of his title rival. The AlphaTauri's superior straight line speed lets him close in a bit, but not as much as he won. He only got to about 2/3 of a second. He'll have another DRS zone that he'll be able to use to close in a bit more, but again, not close enough to really do anything to Matrix. Farther back, Jigsaw is right there behind Zola, but could not make anything stick. Again, the McLarens kind of have a massive... Oh! Giant accident! Starfish! Giant incident! Gigantic accident, very nearly gets hit by Ocean Lion, and Dave Ewart barely squeaks by as well. Both Haas's out in the span of about 2 laps.
Full safety car too. That is good news for both Matrix and Torpedo. Matrix wants that safety car to really form that gap back up with Bullbeast, but Torpedo wants that safety car so he can maybe pit for new tires and get that jump on Matrix. I think Matrix might also jump in for new tires because he's gonna have
Also,
that
I
5 lap
think
advantage on everyone else.
Also, I think with the way that goes, I think this basically means that the fight for the win automatically goes to either Bullbeast or Zola. All right, coming into the party now is Frisbee. Frisbee, go ahead, include your audio. Oh, Starfish. So both Haas drivers coming into the party. Both of you go ahead, include your audio. Accidents about 2 laps apart for both of you. Take what looked to be race-winning favorites out. Frisbee, we'll start with you first. What happened that took you out there?
I got messed on the strategy because this game it can't do pit stops for some reason. They just messed up the strategy with the normal bugs, and then I was just getting diddled by people on the street, and I didn't want to race. And then I made that mistake.
Alright, well, shame to see you out like this. You guys said, I gotta talk with Haas drivers earlier. You guys said there's still a chance maybe at Zandvoort. Do you still feel that way?
If I show
Yes.
Alright, well, real quickly, I also want to talk to Starfish. Starfish, giant accident. We just saw the impact itself, but what happened that led to that?
Going around the corner, I just ran a little bit wide, and as soon as my left rear touched that curb, the car just went. The car was just gone and in the wall. There was literally nothing I can do.
Another thing the Haas can't do, touch curbs.
Yeah, that car is
Driving a straight line and
impossible.
touch curbs.
Doesn't matter how quick we look in the qualifying race or whatever, it's impossible to drive. I feel sorry for Nikita Mazepin.
Well, rough to see you both out so early in the event, considering that, honestly, a win did look very much possible for both of you.
Yeah. Well, first we bottled
Right.
it, but yeah.
You died too. If anything, Jeff screwed us over, let's be honest.
Yeah, Jeff put me in softs for some reason, so I'd like kind of do that.
I got to find a good bug in the game.
Alright. Well, either way, thanks both of you for being willing to jump in. It's a shame to see it go the way it did for you here after being so strong today. Alright, so now we turn our focus back to the race. Only 9 cars left, and we've not even completed halfway through the event with the way it is going. And now we see Flavor pitting out of 4th, so he wants off those soft tires, and this will put him on an alternate strategy compared to everyone else. What this also does, Matrix now gets promoted up into 5th position, Torpedo up into 6th, the Mercedes now up into 7th and 8th. Of note, our top 4 drivers, Bullbeast, Zola, Jigsaw, Dragon, they're all on worn mediums. Bullbeast will be leading, Zola 2nd. The McLarens, again, I cannot say it's enough, the McLarens are the fastest cars in a straight line. I think if Bullbeast doesn't open up a massive gap on Zola immediately, I think Zola may just walk into a position here where he could walk out here with this race win now.
I very much agree with you. The McLarens are showing a lot of strength today. So I think if Bullbeast doesn't really go real defensive, he could lose the lead of the race temporarily. Thank you for letting me listen Thank you for letting me listen to you chew your food. That was amazing.
Crap, I'm sorry. 1 second.
Anyways, I think the announcement's going to come out soon of safety cars in this lap.
Alright. The fewest drivers to ever finish a XRR realistic race has been 6. This happened twice, but both in exhibition events. One here at Hungary and one at Spa. Right now, we've cut nearly half the field out. We're well on the way to matching that pace. I hate to say it. But anyways, Bullbeast leads, Zola 2nd. Bullbeast will be the driver to control the field as they come to the green flag. How tightly does he bunch them, and when does he accelerate? That is the question.
Now he does.
Yeah, that's a very early. Oh, he twitches! He twitches! He's off! He's off in 1! He's off! But gets it back together, barely keeps the car ahead of Zola, and there's fighting behind! Matrix is already making the move on Dragon!
Wow, that was
nothing the McLaren can do, it looks like. Well, no, I take that back. The McLaren barely holds the spot over Matrix, but at the front, Zola is there behind Bullbeast. Can't make it stick. In fact, no one's able to make a move yet. Dave tried to do something to his teammate Ocean Lion there, but couldn't make it stick. Right now, if both Mercedes can make it to the end, they will get into the triple-digit points in manufacturer's title. Torpedo all over Matrix right now as Matrix is having trouble staying in the draft of that McLaren.
Zola falling back on Bullbeast. What? Jigsaw though, kind of keeping that gap a little bit with Zola, trying his hardest to just stay there.
Matrix all over Dragon again, but again, the McLarens have superior straight line speed. Matrix does have the draft, might be able to try to use ERS, fighting with the Mercedes behind. Ocean Lion, Dave, you are neck and neck. Matrix, does he make a move on Dragon? No, he does not. Dave and Ocean Lion still at it, but Dave barely holds off Ocean Lion going into 1.
Torpedo right on the rear end of Matrix. Matrix is right on the rear end of Dragon.
And we're going to see very quickly DRS start to become a factor in this fight. But the other thing to consider is that if Jigsaw ends up having trouble trying to keep up with Zola. Jigsaw could fall back, and that could further upset how this all is going. Right now, though, the top three have kind of walked off on their own. It's Dragons holding up the rest of the field, 4th on back to 9th.
Zola loses the back end.
Dragons around! Dragons around! And right in front of the championship leader! Contact with the championship leader and Dragon! Dragon's out, but in the whole thing, Dave got by Torpedo!
That was interesting. I don't have words for that. That was something.
That is the kind of situation that could cost the championship. But, as I'm looking right now, Matrix stayed out on circuit, so they don't think there's any major damage to the car, but that was insane. All right, coming to the party now is XRRL Dragon. Dragon, go ahead and include your audio. Big accident, very nearly took out the 2 championship leaders. What happened out there?
Just caught the curb on the exit, unsettled the car, thought I had it brought back center, then it just snapped out the opposite direction, and slam bam, thank you ma'am, there you go.
Alright, well right now you're out of it, but your teammate Zola is running second. Do you think there's still a possibility that McLaren could walk out here with the victory?
Absolutely. Zola's been really steady today, despite getting into a couple of squabbles with other drivers. He's been really stable. I think he's got what it takes to work his way to the front of the field and bring this thing home for McLaren.
Alright, well I do want to say thanks for being willing to jump in with us. It's an absolute travesty to see another DNF from you when you've had such a rough season to begin with.
Indeed. We'll just look at next week. Next week should be really strong for us.
Alright, well, thanks again, mate.
All right,
As we turn our focus back to the track, 6 drivers, the fewest to ever finish a realistic race. Right now, there are 8. But for the title fight, Matrix has no DRS, Torpedo does. Down the front straightaway. The gap is about 2/3 of a second when they come onto it, but you can see how quickly the AlphaTauri is closing. Coming into the braking zone, and Jigsaw's just got by Zola farther up. Jigsaw got by Zola for second.
That is a good move for Jigsaw. He wanted to get past Zola so he can chase down that leader of Polbees. But at the same time, both Jigsaw and Polbees, and Zola too, 11 lap of mediums. But Jigsaw and Polbees do have penalties.
Yeah, and Zola does not, so that could work out in his favor going forward.
Matrix does not have DRS on Zola, so that does mean that Torpedo does have that advantage on Matrix.
Yeah, Torpedo's right there behind the Alfa Romeo right now, but the other thing to consider is that there are a pair of Mercedes behind, and they could further upset things, because they are both within DRS range still of the AlphaTauri as well. Matrix opens up the gap a little bit in Sector 2, so it seems like he's more comfortable with the Alfa Romeo in Sector 2 going into Sector 3, and then Torpedo sucks that gap away right almost instantly going down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the few laps where Torpedo really has to chase down, because look at how fast they are catching up on Zola. They are absolutely flying up to Zola, so I think Torpedo has a small window where he can get ahead of Matrix.
Thing is that Matrix and Torpedo both are doing a good job managing their ERS, and it's just enough to keep Matrix ahead of Torpedo. And again, Torpedo really seems to struggle. The moment you get out going through corners, the AlphaTauri struggles. That's where the Alfa Romeo was just a little bit stronger here.
Keep in mind,
Ocean Line gets a time penalty back here in 7th now.
50% of this race, so there was still as much laps as we have done in the last hour. We still have that exact same amount to go, so anything can happen.
Also, I'm going to say this. I'm not saying it will happen, but I will say this. It's getting dark out there. Rain might not be totally out of the question. I'm not saying it will happen, but it doesn't look out of the question right now.
I was thinking about that, so I think it was lap 30. I saw the clouds started to change, and I was in my head, I was like, I wonder if rain's going to hit. That would be interesting to see for this race.
Again, when we ran the exhibition race at Hungary, where only 6 cars finished, rain became a factor then as well. And if rain ends up happening, that might kill Torpedo's chances because you cannot overtake at all at Hungary in the wet. It's simply not possible. Now, as I say that, sun pokes back up as we continue to watch this DRS train from 4th on back. But here's the thing, Matrix is, despite having to hold off that AlphaTauri behind, Matrix is gradually closing in on Zola in 3rd.
That's what I was saying earlier. I think, like I said, I think Torpedo has a small window where he has to get ahead
Oh,
of me.
Dave! Mercedes! Both Mercedes into each other! Dave slid off circuit and Oceanline collided into his side!
That is not good news for Merc. Oh. Oh, and the Red Bull flies past Ocean. Ocean let him by. I think Ocean's waiting
Yeah,
for his teammate.
I think both Mercedes have significant damage on their cars now. Yeah, Ocean Lions lost his front wing, and I think Dave Ewart has a similarly damaged front wing as well.
Yeah, he does. What is Torpedo gonna do? Is Torpedo gonna try and make a move on the straight?
Well, Torpedo, there's really only one place to make a move, on the straight. And that's where Torpedo's at his strongest. He's actually closer to Matrix now than he has been for a while. And now there's no Mercedes hounding the rear of that AlphaTauri as well.
Matrix defends the inside. Torpedo not even trying to get that slipstream. I think he's just trying to set himself up for an amazing downhill.
Yeah, I think he's going for just pure straight line speed. He doesn't want to be burning anything up, weaving side to side down the straight. He's right there behind his title rival. But again, here's the other thing to consider. Even if Torpedo gets by Matrix, he needs to start putting cars between himself and Matrix. Or they need to finish 1-2 with Torpedo ahead of Matrix if Torpedo even wants to start closing that gap at a reasonable rate.
And he is. Torpedo's closing that gap, I think.
No, I mean in the points. In the points, he needs to be ahead of Matrix and ideally have cars between him. Otherwise, Matrix can just keep finishing right behind Torpedo for the rest of the season and still walk off with the title.
Yeah, indeed, he does need to close that gap to the points, but I think Dave goes on the sauce.
Here's the wild card. Yeah, Matrix has just caught Zola. Oh, what in the world?
Zola did not want to hold up on that battle, so now it is a podium battle.
Well, also, there's one other battle in the podium positions. That's going to be for the race win, because coming out of the final corner, Jigsaw has closed down on Bullbeast. He has DRS on the Williams. Alpine versus Williams down the straight.
Blue versus blue. Who's going to take it home? For at least the race lead, not for the win, though.
Here comes Torpedo on Matrix. Side by side for 3rd. Torpedo to the inside. How aggressively does Matrix defend?
Torpedo might stick the move. Matrix comes out a little bit ahead. He comes out about a car and a half ahead. Torpedo comes into the next corner, a car and a half ahead. Torpedo gets pushed wide. Matrix gets the position back. There's contact.
He's around! And into the wall! It's over! Title fight is over! And Torpedo is out! No, the car's still alive! The car is still alive, but with the significant amount of damage done, for all intents and purposes, this title fight is over!
Just like that, and Zola lets by the, Zola slowed down for a second, I don't know why. I think Zola might have damage or something, I don't know. Zola's car just stopped instantly.
He seems to be having some struggle trying to figure out where he's supposed to be in relation to, Flavor. Oh, Zola's disconnected! And if you're disconnected for more than like 30 seconds, I think it is, then it's basically a race disqualification.
Uh-oh. Matrix, though, smooth sailing in 3rd. Now he doesn't have to worry about Torpedo, but Torpedo has to go into the pits because he has no front wing. That is not good. I did not want to see that from Torpedo. I was hoping Torpedo would pull some miracle, but no. It was... The door was shut as he was in it. Zola is back. I don't know if he's in the car yet. Flavor goes.
See, on my screen it's showing that he's not back. My screen is showing that he's still disconnected.
That is the same for me. I'm gonna watch his steering wheel movement, see if he's back or not. And
well, Matrix has just gotten by Jigsaw. Something's gone wrong with Jigsaw because Jigsaw's just fallen to the wayside as well. I think he's had a spin. So now Matrix is in 2nd. Like I said, with all this happening, championship is over. Matrix will be your realistic league champion. Now, don't get me wrong, mathematically, Torpedo's still in it. But at this point, the gap that he would need to close in the remaining 3 races would be so massive that would basically be impossible to do.
And I think Dave is just going for the fastest lap at this point, because he just jumped onto softs to,
There's no point in jumping on the softs now, because there's still a good 31 laps left in this race.
Yeah, I don't know what that strategy was from, Dave. I think he's just, like, thrown in the towel, and I don't know what's going on with
He
him.
might also be counting, maybe he's betting on another yellow flag.
Maybe, I think...
Zola is back, at least on my screen it shows that he's connected again, but Flavor has him and is going to try and overtake him with some DRS assists down the straightaway.
He's going to try and make him...
right behind the McLaren, can't make it move there, but he might, if he exits well here, he might be able to make a move going into 3.
Gets
Nah,
over the
negative,
curb.
he did not exit.
Zola just lets him by.
Oh, the
What?
McLaren's off! What?
What is going on with Zola? Zola's just been letting everyone by. And now...
I don't know what's going on.
And then Flavor slows down for him. What? Are they just trying to battle or something?
No, there's no way. And I don't think Flavor's trying to slow down. Again, Flavor, not fastest on track. He normally makes his time up on, just better strategy, superior tire management, and minimizing time penalties. But this is just weird right now.
Yeah. Look at that though. Matrix has already closed down a second from when I last looked onto Bullbeast. And I think we're gonna see Bullbeast kind of start leaning towards jumping into those pits.
And when he does, it will give Matrix the lead. All right, and coming into the party is Zola. Zola, I assume that your presence here guarantees that the car that we're following on track, you are not driving right now.
Oh, I'm driving it now. It's frozen me 6 times on track, dead. And I've nearly killed, I think I nearly killed Harry, I nearly killed Matrix, I nearly killed Flavor. The server's gone, this lobby's gone. So, but the result still stands, but I'm literally finally in control of my car, and the reason I let Flavor pass for is because I nearly killed him 4 times by being in front of him. I've got no
full race points.
I've got no force feedback. I've finally got sound now because I paused the game and unpaused it, but I've got nothing else.
Will full race points still be awarded then?
Yeah, I've done most of the race. It only literally looks like it's me that's suffering. That's why I left the lobby and come back in for. Hopefully now it's gone to a different host. I think it might be me, but I don't know why. It's never been a problem before. But all these problems have happened since the update of the new game. Like the updates this week has caused so many glitches now. There's about 7 or 8 new glitches that we found in the space of like 4 days. But yeah, it literally stopped me dead on track, like I wasn't even there.
I noticed that, yeah, in Sector 2.
And like no one's at home, so no one's using the internet. I just checked my phone, and my upload speed 70 and my download speed 150. So, but yeah, that's why I let people through because it literally froze me right in front of Matrix when we were fighting earlier. I had a 4.5 second lead and it froze me twice, and I went down for a 4 second lead to like 5 seconds, less than 2 turns. So yeah, my race is pretty advanced on. The best I'm looking at now is 5th.
Alright, well, shame that's gone like this for you. I will say though, great job being able to drive and talk at the same time in a race. Skills of the legendary late Tim Richmond. But we will go ahead and let you go and focus back on your circuit.
Yeah, I won't be able to leave the lobby because I'll do that, but I won't mind.
Alright, well, farewell, Zola. I will kick you out of the party if you want. Alright, no word for him, so he'll be in the party for right now, but basically he is, for all intents and purposes, disconnected from the broadcast at this point. So just in case he had not included his audio, just saying that Zola's saying that glitches causing him to stall out. And I had seen on my end, it looked like the car had come to a dead stop, but I didn't say anything about it because I honestly thought I was surely just misinterpreting and misreading stuff at that moment, because there was no way, at least in my opinion, there was no way that the car was just coming to a dead stop. But that does seem to be what's happening due to glitches in this game. Anyways, at the front, BG Bulbies leads by 4.5 seconds. But he has 6 seconds of time penalties, so in the end, your race leader right now is actually this man here, XRRL Matrix. And if he wins today, it looks like he's going to be in a position that he's going to lock up the championship just by taking home a handful of points in the next 2 races. So, again, it's not officially locked up, but for all intents and purposes, it is locked up for him.
Yeah, I personally think Matrix has this in the bag now. Torpedo's in dead last, so not much he can do for himself now.
Yeah, and even if there was a full course yellow that grouped the entire field back together, it wouldn't change anything because Torpedo would still be on hards and everyone else would jump onto another set of mediums, or heaven forbid even softs, and they'd still walk by him.
Exactly.
And Matrix has just made no mistakes all day today. He was in the Aston Martin earlier in the season when he opened up that massive point lead. Then he got moved down to the Alfa Romeo because it said that the Aston Martin was too fast. Well, he's actually gone better in the Alfa Romeo than he was in the Aston Martin. So, yeah, it seems like it wasn't much of a downgrade for him whatsoever. Well, the two Mercedes have caught each other once more. Dave Ewart right behind Ocean Lion, fighting for 6th spot. Now, these two, last time they were side by side, they actually hit each other. This time, though, not so much of an issue. Dave will clear Ocean Lion. Counterpoint, though, is that Dave's going to burn those tires off soon enough, and he will have to pit again. Ocean Lion does not have to worry about stopping again for the rest of this race. So,
yeah, he can
I think
run
Ocean
those
Lion
hards.
has the overall advantage.
And I think Dave's already actually slowing down, if I'm correct.
Dave literally just got ahead of Ocean Lion. I don't think he's slowing down.
Actually, yeah, now that I look at the Delta. Oh.
Looking at the grid right now, if our 2 leaders were to pit, so Bulby's, Jigsaw, and Zola will be the next ones to pit likely. And when they pit, they'll probably throw on some soft rubber to the end of this race. They may throw on another set of mediums, but I think they'll probably throw on softs and just kind of cope to the end of this race.
Oh.
When they do so,
Jigsaw
Zola
just went
will
into the
probably
wall.
fall... Who?
Jigsaw, he came out of the fast left-hander, and I think he got oversteer and his back end slipped out, so he saved it and kind of snapped into the wall.
The car still looks okay on my end, but if it is damaged, that would compromise him pretty badly and would probably move Flavor up into 4th on the racetrack.
Yeah, I think Matrix definitely just has this in the bag right now.
Yeah, I think this race is Matrix's, and this title is Matrix's as well.
Oh, 100%.
Alright, if you have to step away, go for it. I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Alright, well.
I have appreciated being able to cover with you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Alright. Sayonara.
Farewell. And that is our co-broadcaster for today's race. That is Vibe 12. I want to say thank you for being willing to jump in and broadcast with us. Hopefully things work out well going forward. But as it is at the moment, this race is basically over. Jigsaw still seems to be okay, though, holding steady in 3rd. But as we look at time penalties coupled with everything else, Jigsaw has 9 seconds worth of time penalties, while Flavor in 4th only has 3. So if Jigsaw has any major issues and falls through the grid at all, Flavor might be able to steal a podium off of him. Bulbies is leading with 6 seconds of time penalties. Matrix is only 4.5 seconds out. Well, more like 4 3/4 of a second out. So Matrix will end up winning this race if that gap stays at that range. Zola is 5th. He has no time penalties, but he's about 5 seconds out from Flavor, so he's not close enough to capitalize on anyone's penalties ahead. Dave Ewart in 6th has 8 seconds worth of time penalties, and he is about 4 seconds ahead of his teammate Ocean Line. But when Dave comes in and swaps tires, it is likely he will try and serve 5 seconds worth of those penalties in pit lane. Ocean Line only has 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and Torpedo, who is in 8th, fresh, hard tires that will last him to the end without any issue. He is about 8 seconds out from Ocean Line right now. I think right now he's probably just driving defeated, to be honest.
Flavor's just lost 1.5 seconds in one sector. I don't know what's happened to Flavor, but he's lost a lot of time.
Zola appears to be closing down the gap back on Flavor again. Gap shrunk down to about 3 seconds once more. Now, Flavor is on better tires, and frankly, I think Flavor probably is in the best scenario when it comes to rubber. He's normally well known for being able to maintain rubber for much longer since than most everyone else. I think Flavor could probably make it to the end on this set of rubber and might be able to gain a position over Jigsaw and maybe Matrix, if Matrix has to pit before race in. Right now, the real question is just, for Bulbeast, Jigsaw, and Zola, will they be able to make it to the end on this set of rubber, or will they have to pit and throw on a different set of tires to the very end of this race? Gap between first and second is starting to slowly open up. It's about 4.9 between first and second. But for Bulbeast to win, he needs to be more than 6 seconds ahead of Matrix, and he cannot afford to take any more time penalties. So started out with 17 drivers. We've gone down to 8. Now the field is, what's left of the field is extremely spread out. And at this point, we're just watching deltas and watching gaps try to fluctuate. Now, I said Zola was closing on Flavor, but it looks like that gap is now going back in Flavor's favor once more. Dave Ewart in 6. We know he will have to pit again. He is on a set of soft rubber. He has only opened up about a little less than 6 seconds over his teammate Dave Ewart right now, over his teammate Ocean Line right now. But when he pits, he's going to lose that and way more. So for right now, Dave, he's going to have to pit again. When he pits again, it's going to be rough because if he throws on another set of softs, well, he's kind of in the same problem. If he throws on a set of mediums, he's not going to be very fast, and it's going to be way hard for him to catch Ocean Line, but his tires won't fall off too much. So it's a hard situation for him in the Mercedes camp as the two drivers are trying to fight. But if these two can make it to and complete this lap 63, they both will have completed the 90% distance. They will be guaranteed to bring home enough points for the Mercedes camp that they should finally break into the triple-digit barriers.
Yeah, Dave should
in
be
the Manufacturers
boxing.
Championship.
Yeah, Dave should be boxing in the next 5 laps because that means he'll do 15 on both sets of softs. So best option for him. But yeah, he's not. He shouldn't be getting to the end. I can get to the end.
Alright, so word is from the McLaren camp
P1 and
that
P2 probably can as well.
Yeah, word from the McLaren camp, no worries about tire changes, just go to the end. If that's the case, then we can probably infer that's the same for Jigsaw in 3rd, the same for Bulbeast leading as well. So for Bulbeast, he just needs to maximize these tires and open up the gap over Matrix, but Matrix has started to close that gap back up. It's back to about 4.6 seconds. And if Matrix can just stay within 6 seconds of Bulbeast, he will walk out here with the win and will almost redouble his championship lead over Torpedo. It looks like the Realistic Drivers Championship is going to be locked up. For the Manufacturers Championship, it's looking pretty much the same because no one's been driving for Ferrari for most of the last 6 races. So with that in mind, no other team has been consistent enough to capitalize except for the AlphaTauri drivers. And while Torpedo looks like he's locked into an 8th place finishing position at best, maybe 7th if Dave has a really, really slow stop, that will still be enough to let them extend their lead. So I think with the way this race is going, your 2 main championship fights will have come to an end. Not mathematically, but in terms of pure realism. Dave Ewart in 6 is about 10.9 seconds out from XRL Zola. Still trying to make these soft tires go as hard as they can before he inevitably has to get off of them. Jigsaw now gets a time penalty, and he's running there in 3rd. And that's not going to help him because he has, as I look, 12 seconds worth of time penalties now. Flavor has only 3 and has only 11 out. So if Jigsaw gets another time penalty, there is a high likelihood that Flavor will leapfrog Jigsaw in race positions. So
I've just found another glitch as well. I've now got the MFD stuck on just talking to Jeff, so I can't check my tyres or change anything or nothing now. I'm just stuck with driver behind ticked, and that's it. Green box. I can't do nothing. This game, I love it.
don't worry, the next game will be even worse. Alright, Bullbeast now stretching the gap out again against Matrix. It's up to 5.3 seconds between first and second. Bullbeast trying to outrun 6 seconds worth of time penalty in order to walk out of here with the victory. $19 laps to go. Word is that everyone in the top 5, along with 7th and 8th place, will be able to make it to the end on the tires they're on. The question really is just, when does the Mercedes of Dave Ewart come to make his stop? Because when he does make his stop, that should be it. That will probably dictate where everyone finishes this race, assuming no other instance happened that randomized anything. But the field is extremely spread out. Everyone who's left on track seems to be in a position where they're not really making mistakes on track. So I think these 8 drivers will probably make it to the end of this race now. $18 laps to go right now. Dave Ewart has 14 lap worn tires, so I imagine Dave will try and stay out on this set of rubber for another 2 to 3 laps, then jump in for another set of softs. He is at an 8.3 second advantage over Ocean, 8.3 second gap behind Zola, so he's still closing on Zola in 5th with this set of tires. He has a 8.6 second gap over Ocean Lion right now. Actually, if Dave was to pit, he would end up behind Torpedo and would fall to 8th position. So it's not looking great for Dave because he may be fast on track right now, but those tires are going to be falling off, or they're in the process of falling off. He will not be able to drag these to the ends. It's just physically not going to be possible. So he will have to pit and will likely drop him to dead last, or at least fighting for 7th with Torpedo. So yeah, kind of a rough scenario for him there. Oh, and he's off there in the second to last corner. Slides wide. He saves it before it gets too bad, but that means he's gonna fall a bit farther away from Zola in the process, and also will let Ocean Lion close in as well. So at the front, Bullbeast has done it. He's opened up a 6.3 second gap over Matrix at this point in the event. So Matrix may be suffering a bit when it comes to tire wear. But with that said, a 12.3 second gap over 3rd place, and 3rd has time penalties. Matrix has no time penalties. So, yeah, Matrix, I think, is still in a good position. And Dave gets a time penalty in 6th. So it seems like Dave's race is starting to fall off the rails just a bit. 7 seconds now. So I don't know if Bullbeast has found a whole nother gear or if Matrix is falling off, because the gap between the Alfa Romeo on second and your leading Williams is just beginning to increase at a very, very steady rate.
It's a weird one though, because Matrix's tyres are 7 laps younger as well, so he shouldn't be losing that much time. Bullbeast should be the one that's losing time, not Matrix.
And Jigsaw with another time penalty, and now this puts him at 15 seconds of time penalty. Flavor's only 12.5 seconds out. Flavor might be able to leapfrog Jigsaw for a podium position here.
A lot of penalties.
Yeah, gap between first and second now at 7.3. But really, the really interesting part is between Matrix and Jigsaw. That gap has been staying at about 12.5 seconds. Decaying, but it's decaying at a very slow rate. I think, yeah, Matrix is falling off on tires a bit. But I think more than anything else, Bullbeast has kind of opened up a new gear and is just flying on his own. Also of note though, Matrix is not utilizing his ERS at all on the racetrack right now, while Bullbeast is, and Dave is pitting out of 6th position. So as he does this will put him behind his teammate Ocean Line. This will also put him behind Torpedo on track. He will also serve a 5-second penalty in the pit lane. So they're throwing on another set of softs, and surprisingly, as he now pulls out of his box, we'll see Torpedo overtake him there. But Dave, thankfully, is far enough up the track that he should not be at any risk of going a lap down to BG Bullbeast. And yeah, I'm watching the gap among the podium drivers right now. Bullbeast is pulling on Matrix at twice the rate that Jigsaw is closing on Matrix. So while Matrix is definitely struggling with tire wear, I think Bullbeast has just opened it up and has found some extra pace in these closing 15 laps now of this event. So for Dave Ewart now, he needs to try and overcome, with these soft tires, he has to run down a 5.5 second gap between himself and Torpedo, and then run down about another 11 seconds between Torpedo and Ocean Line, all while managing the 3 seconds of time penalty
Let's make things
he does still
interesting.
have. And Zola now pits out of 5th position. So with that in mind, that means that there is no way Zola will be able to
just to bring something more excitement into the race, because there's nothing happening. And let's put me on medium.
So Zola
could even change my
and
tires.
Ocean Lion pitting also out of 6th position. So Zola pits out of 5th, Ocean Lion pits out of 6th. Torpedo, this will promote him up into the 6th spot, but now he's going to have to hold off 2 drivers on soft tires.
Yeah, this is the annoying thing, because I couldn't change my MFD, I was putting it back on mediums, even though I can't change tires. Because I can't use the MFD. So I put it on medium, so fantastic.
So Zola throwing on another set of tires.
This fucking game, man.
Our top 4 though, still on the same set they've been on for a while.
All because my MFD is broken and I can't talk to Jeff. And I can't tell him to pit my tyres. I can't move the MFD at all. So I can't change
And we are
tyres.
getting word that in the McLaren camp, they are having issues with communication, not able to get the proper information relayed to the team. They wanted soft tires, not medium tires.
But I can't physically use my MFD. Like, as in, I can't move with a D-pad.
I know, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is start.
Gap between first and second, now at 8.5 seconds, so Matrix continues to fall off of Bullbeast. Jigsaw in third has brought it down to about 11.7 seconds, but again, more than anything else, Bullbeast is just pulling on Matrix right now. Meanwhile, the fight for 6th, very much active. Torpedo has it, but he has it on hard tires, while Dave has just set the fastest lap, 118.6 behind him. And he will be within DRS range in a lap or 2. So for Torpedo, it looks like he will be relegated to an 8th place finish, irregardless, at the pace that the Mercedes are going. Already, Dave is within 2/3 of Torpedo. Dave not going for any high-risk moves right now. He's just staying behind the AlphaTauri. He knows that he'll be able to just stay right behind him and then use DRS to blow by him down the straights. And while the AlphaTauri is very good on acceleration, doesn't have a very draggy setup, with this kind of tire discrepancy, Dave can throw it in and the tires will be able to handle much, much harder braking. Ocean Lion now sets the fastest lap, 118.1. Torpedo defends the inside. Dave goes around the outside. Torpedo tries to run the Mercedes wide. It's not going to matter, though, because now the Mercedes has the inside going into the following corner. Sends it in. This is a scenario where Torpedo had an incident while fighting with Matrix. Won't push the issue too hard. Dave is by. Ocean Lion only 1.7 seconds out. And now for Dave, can he run the 8 seconds down to catch Zola in 5th? The gap. Oh, and Jigsaw's pitting out 3rd. Jigsaw is pitted out 3rd spot. He cannot make the tires go. Either he can't make the tires go any farther, or he feels that he should just go and try and get fastest lap point. So with this will promote Flavor up into the podium positions. Oh, he has wing damage. Dave had to replace the wing, so he's taking damage somewhere, and they have to replace the wing on his car. Soft tires for Jigsaw. So Flavor now goes up into the podium positions. And Zola may have an outside chance of leapfrogging Jigsaw on time penalties. Again, Zola, no time penalties. Jigsaw 15 seconds, and Zola is within 7 seconds of Jigsaw. So Zola might be able to salvage a 4th place finish out of this. At the front, though, Bull and Ocean Lion now overtakes Torpedo with DRS easily on the main straightaway, so that fight's over. At the front, Bull Beast is now over 10.5 seconds above Matrix on track right now. For the moment, the gap seems to have stabilized between 1st and 2nd at about 10 3/4 of a second right now. Flavor not really closing on the 2 ahead, but he is staying a decent amount ahead of Jigsaw right now. And again, with Jigsaw's massive amount of time penalties, even if Jigsaw runs down Flavor and gets by him, time penalties alone mean that Flavor will still likely walk out here in 3rd as long as he can make those tires last to the end of this race. And Flavor has the youngest tires of everyone in the top 3 right now. 37 lap-worn tires for Bull Beast leading, 30 lap-worn tires for Matrix in 2nd, 29 for Flavor in 3rd. And Flavor has a history of being able to take tires way longer than most others. Now, here's the interesting thing, though, as I'm looking through the grid, Dave Ewart in 6th is now having fuel management issues. He may not make it to the end on fuel. No one else on track seems to be having that issue. It's just Dave Ewart. Gap between 6th and 7th is just over a second right now. And again, Ocean Lion is in a position he can push hard. He does not have to worry about fuel to the end, so I would not be surprised if we see Ocean Lion leapfrog Dave for position shortly. Oh, and Dave's around! And Dave's around in the chicane! He spins! And that will drop him to 7th, drop him to 8th behind Torpedo as well. Frustration. He's still on track, though. The car is still in one piece. And if they can just complete 63 laps, he will get at least points for 8th after completing 90%. He needs to complete at least 63 laps. All right, Jigsaw has closed the gap on 3rd down to 9.6 seconds. Bull Beast has opened up a 13.1 second gap on Matrix now. So Matrix is just absolutely hemorrhaging time to the leader, but again, he doesn't have to worry because Flavor behind him is not closing by any significant margin.
Yeah, but for Matrix, he only had to beat Torpedo. He didn't really have to worry about anybody else, did he? So
Yeah.
he's being able to fighting from the championship, so he's all that right up.
Yeah, Matrix is gonna. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. The Alfa Romeo was not a downgrade for him; it was an upgrade. His performance has been better since he moved to the Alpha.
And the funny thing is, the Alfa Romeo to the Aston Martin is 6/10 to 7/10 slower. So he did
Yeah.
go down a car. It's just the thing is between the cars.
He's improving way faster than we can match him. Yeah, I know.
Next year will be different. No, next year the cars will be more balanced because of the way the cars are. So the people like Frisbee and Starfish and that sort of people won't be in a car that's 4 seconds slower than everybody else. They'll be in a car that's 2 seconds slower than everybody else. So that'll be more interesting to see.
Gap between first and second, now at 14.5 seconds. Flavor's actually closed a small amount on Matrix, but the real interesting thing is Jigsaw, who is barreling down Flavor at about 1.5 seconds a lap right now. And also Dave Ewar, who is trying to close back in on Torpedo, but again, Dave's still trying to manage fuel to the end. Ryan on board with the 8th place car of Dave Ewar in that Mercedes as he barrels down on Torpedo. He's within DRS range of Torpedo, so he should be able to get by him, I imagine, down the straight. But again, fuel management is an issue for Dave. Torpedo doesn't have to worry about that.
What's Ocean's fuel like? Because I can't ask Jeff or anything. But is MSD in that?
Nope. The only person with fuel issue is Dave. Everyone else is
Yeah, I'll say Ocean
to the
should
end
catch
fine
me.
on fuel.
Yes, Ocean should be catching me then. I couldn't. The game wouldn't let me go this off, so I couldn't fix the tyres. So it just went in the pits. Whatever it gave me. So it gave me mediums. So I've got nothing to defend with if he does catch me. As I hope his tyres die.
Lion's just got a time penalty, so while Lion is bearing down on Zola in 5th, it doesn't matter because with all the time penalties that Ocean Lion has earned, while Zola has none, it means that Zola will still likely walk out of there with that position. Ooh, Torpedo and Dave both have a big moment there.
I am one warning away from the penalty though.
Ocean Lion at 6 seconds of penalties right now.
Yeah, I'm one warning away from another penalty. From a penalty. I was trying to stay with Jigsaw, but that soft's just ridiculous when they first get on for the first like 7 or 8 laps. So I just gotta hope they die off within the next 3 or 4 laps, or 2 or 3 laps, and I'll be fine. But I don't think I'm going to be able to catch him.
Of note, Jigsaw is running with 15 seconds of time penalty. Zola is only 13.5 out from him, so although Jigsaw still is using the soft tires to try and outrun his time penalties, things could still get interesting. Dave overtakes Torpedo now down the front straightaway. Easy, simple DRS overtake. But again, that second Mercedes still up in the air regarding how his fuel management will be to the end of this race. Gap between first and second has opened up to 16.7 seconds. And Flavor is steadily closing in on Matrix, but the gap between second and third is still 20 seconds. Really won't matter. The real thing for Flavor is that Jigsaw is closing on him.
Yeah, I think Jigsaw, when he'd lost his front wing, he's cost himself P3. I don't think he's going to get P3. I don't think he's going to pull that 15 seconds on, well, 12 seconds he'd have to pull on Jigsaw though. So I think he's probably looking at 4th.
The Alpine burning through his ERS, completely empty of ERS at the end of that straight nearly, while Flavor has just been kind of managing everything to the end. Jigsaw now within 2.1 seconds of Flavor, so a fight for third is on, also a fight for 5th. But again, I think in both these scenarios, the driver ahead has the advantage just simply due to penalty countback.
Yeah, the thing is, when people run out of ERS and that lot, it makes no sense to me, because once you hit under 20% and your light starts flashing, or 25%, you lose power in a straight line. So basically, if you're using the ERS when you're under 20%, you are losing power in your car for the rest of the lap. This is a little bit of a
News
knowledge
to me.
some
I never
people.
heard of this. This is brand new to me.
I've raced F1.
There might be a lot of people who
years.
don't even know that's a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing around here. I mean, it's like here. There's like everyone started on softs. It's not actually the strategy around it. The strategy is a medium hard or hard medium. That's the strategy around here, not softs.
Yeah, but then you can be someone like Matrix, and you don't need to worry about strategy if you're that much faster than everyone else. So just get a good
The
starting
safety
spot.
car come out in the first 10 laps. If the safety car did not come out in the first 10 laps, they wouldn't have got through the field because it's all about track position. This track is. It's like a bit like Monaco. Pretty much the only place you can be passed to is on the home straight unless someone makes a mistake.
Yeah. But again, if your pace is that much better than everyone else's, it doesn't matter because any moment you have in clean air, you'll outrun everyone else. Again, both Matrix and Torpedo, before Torpedo had his accident, were on pace to just walk off against everyone else.
That safety car come out when they went on softs. The safety car came in 8th lap,
But
which means they come out on mediums against people on hard tyres, and they were on fresh mediums. That's why. There's a second difference between hards and mediums, pace-wise alone.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying though is that it doesn't matter if you're able on track to make up 30 seconds on a tire stint. It doesn't matter how bad your strategy is if you can overcome an entire pit stop deficit.
I think if Frizzly didn't get screwed over in his pit stop, Frizzly probably would have won this race.
Oh, incident! Mercedes, that's Dave, who has had another spin and once again falls to 8th.
Hello, Ocean, how you doing?
And Ocean Lion has caught Zola for 5th, and you saw Jigsaw overtake Flavor for 3rd. But time penalties look like they might still promote Flavor into 3rd. 4 laps to go right now. Down the straightaway. Lion laying on the ERS. 40% in closing. Zola defending as well. Side by side into the corner as Ocean Lion dives to the inside. Easy overtake. Zola, though, tries the crossover on exit. Run down to 3, but the Mercedes has DRS and the Mercedes has the inside line. Is there anything the McLaren can do? The answer? Negative.
Oh, don't leave me any room then. Thank you, Ocean.
And Zola gets a time penalty as well. So Ocean, in the potential last lap of the race, may have filtered himself up in the 5th spot. He will need to outrun 3 seconds of time penalty, though, against Zola. Zola is already more than a second off of Ocean Line, so Lion might be able to hold position over Zola and walk out here with a 5th. But again, Lion needs to be 3 seconds ahead of Zola by race in to maintain 5th.
He's got it. He cheated, so great. Well done.
Torpedo with a slide in Sector 3, but he maintains. Dave Ewart still bullish on fuel and has gotten to the point that Dave is at risk of going a lap down to BG Bullbeast. Gap between 1st and 2nd, 19.7 seconds with 2 laps left in the event. The gap between 2nd and 3rd, 15 seconds, but the man in 3rd has a 15 seconds worth of time penalties himself. Jigsaw has to be more concerned about somehow pulling out what's gonna be like 9, 10 seconds on Flavor in 2 laps, more than he can really focus on Matrix. Ocean Lion 2.4 seconds ahead of Zola, so Zola just barely staying within the 3-second range for the moment. The soft tires may have passed their peak for the Mercedes drivers. For Jigsaw, though, it's still good, but he's not running away from Flavor fast enough. Jigsaw needs to open 12 seconds on Flavor. Right now, he only has half of that. Well, Jigsaw actually might be able to get third back from Flavor at this rate. I'm not saying it will happen, but he's trying. He's barreling hard on it. White flag is in the air. Matrix is closed in on Bull Beast by about 1/8 of a second. Doesn't really matter, though, because 19.3 seconds means nothing. Or means that closing means nothing. Jigsaw barreling down on Matrix on the timesheets. But again, it kind of doesn't mean anything because with all the time penalties that Jigsaw has incurred, it's not likely he'll have any shot at second unless Matrix crashes. It looks like he just might not even get third either because Flavor has picked up the pace a bit. White flag is in the air. Flavor is low on fuel. I repeat, Flavor in fourth is low on fuel. And Dave Ewart in 8th is still iffy on fuel as well. Flavor, can he make it to the end on fuel? That is the question now. Bull Beast has gotten by. Oh, Torpedo's out! Torpedo's out! No, he's not. Never mind. Torpedo just pulled over and let Bull Beast by. So Bull Beast will cross the line and take home victory here at Hungary, the third victory for Williams this season. Matrix will come to the line. Matrix is running out of fuel as well. He'll barely make it to the line in time by the looks of it. Fuel light flashing in the Alfa Romeo, but Matrix doesn't care. He'll come home second and will nearly double his time. He'll add at least another 50% to that championship lead once more. Jigsaw coming around. He'll be the third driver to cross the line. But will it be enough to get him over Flavor? That is the question. Flavor is out! Flavor is out of fuel coming out of the final corner. It doesn't matter. Flavor still barely nailed Jigsaw by 1.2 seconds at the line. Ocean Lion comes across 5th. Will Zola be close enough to leapfrog him? Yes, he is. Barely, but he does it. Trying to get our various finishers in the party real quickly, hear what they have to say. Alright, and coming into the party now is our podium finishers. Of course, we want to start with our race winner, BG Bull Beast. Bull Beast, go ahead, include your audio. Fantastic run out there. Fantastic victory. Walk us through the race from your perspective. Okay, Bull Beast is one of the guys who don't have a mic. Okay, if you have anything to say, Bull Beast, just go ahead and type it out in the chat and I'll see it there. So we want to go ahead and talk with our second place finisher, XRRL Matrix. Matrix, go ahead and include your audio. Second place finish, you had the speed that looked like you were able to outrun an entire pit strategy gap, and you came home second. We cannot hear you. What? Can any of you guys hear me at all? Anyone? People? Wonderful. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Anyone? Curses. Well, we're going to try again to establish connection. All right, here we are. Sweet. All right, well, second place, XRL Matrix. You came home with your second. Massive extension to your points lead, and it looks like you're going to lock up the championship just by earning a few more points to season's end. What do you have to say about your race?
Mate, that was one of the most boring races I've ever done. You must have been bored yourself. Near the end.
I will admit that was an issue I was struggling with.
Yeah, man, I'd struggled to... we were talking about Doctor Who halfway through. That's how bored we were.
That's kind of the problem with. Yeah. That's kind of the problem, at least in my opinion, with Hungary is that because it's basically Monaco without walls and with one overtaking spot.
Yeah.
You don't have to be super hyper on focus like you do at Monaco, but it's just destructive enough that too many people will drop out and there won't be any really decent battling to the end. All right, but still, second though, it looks like you're probably gonna walk out of the next race or two with the title at this rate.
Hopefully so. Obviously Torpedo. So driven well, but I'm after some good racing. Congrats to Bilbeast in the win. Just drove away. I had to save fuel at the end. I managed to stay at plus 0.5 the last 10, but it was going down fast. So yeah, I had to just step away or step off even.
Alright, well, good job, though, bringing it home. And it looks like you're well on the way to being the first ever simultaneous two-series champion in XRL history, mate.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
Alright, now we also want to go ahead and talk about a third-place finisher. Alright, well, Flavor, podium finish. It seems like this track suits you pretty well. What do you have to say about your race today?
Yeah, I've always liked it. Don't know how it'd be with wheel and stuff on it, but didn't really go on it till earlier. I heard Zola speak earlier. Thanks, Zola. Didn't quite know what was happening. I slowed down a couple of times to let you see if you can get back and things like that. But yeah, cheers, mate. Good race for me. I just kept in there, back and forward a little bit like I normally do, but just kept the pace, kept going. Yeah. Perseverance really. In the end, I knew I was in the points. I knew I was going to get some decent points. It was just a matter of hunting down the third, and when he pitted, give me a great chance then. Just at the end, I ran out of fuel right at the end. But congratulations to everybody. Thought there was some good wheel-to-wheel racing there as well. Some good stuff throughout. So yeah, onwards and upwards.
Alright, third place finish here. There are still 3 more races left in the season. Spa, Netherlands, and Monza. What do you think you can repeat your performance here at one of those 3 circuits before season's end?
I hope so. I mean, whether it's a third, but I'd like to, get some decent points to cement that sort of top 10 finish. I think that's great for my first season, and then
speaking of which, actually, when I look at the standings as they are right now, and then factor in where you finished, I think we will be looking at you moving up again. It looks like you will probably overtake both Gabo and Dragon because neither of them walked out here with points. So you'll be moving up to about 8th in the standings,
great
I think.
Stuff. Yeah, that's really good then. And then I'd like to just improve on that if I can towards the end of the season. Show strong if I can, just to keep improving if I can. Keep being clean. Keep trying to be courteous as I can as well. But yeah.
Well, also, you factor that in with the fact, so you walk out here with about third place pays 15 points, am I right?
15, yeah.
Yeah. You factor that in, we're looking at a scenario, you'll be walking out here, Red Bull will be walking out with 146 points. Haas, who is 8th in the Manufacturers' Championship, did earn any, they are still at 157. You could have a shot at taking 8th from Manufacturers' title from the Haas team as well, so good job there as well.
One beast in, mate. Keep it going to the end of the season. Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Yep. All right, and that's the word from Flavor. Still haven't been able to hear or read anything else from Bullbeast yet. But Bullbeast, outstanding job. Basically, one of the top guys from the start to the end of this event. Led pretty much the entire final half of that race. Simple strategy, though. not necessarily starting near the front, but just being on the better strategy, let you outrun basically everyone else on track. The only driver that could overcome a pit stop strategy issue was Matrix, and he ended up being sidelined by his own fuel issues to the end. So I do want to say, Bullbeast, fantastic run to the end. 3 victories for Williams over the course of the season. Outstanding job for what is supposed to be one of the worst cars on the grid. Thank you. I tried not to risk. Well, you did a good job avoiding the risk, Bullbeast. And while they may say no risk for no reward, that definitely was not the case today. No risk brought you all the reward. Congratulations, mate. Alright, well, that is the word from BG Bullbeast, and that is the word from our podium finishers overall. 3 races left in the Realistic Series. Until next time, though, I've been your host for today's race in St. Lear 13. I want to say thank you very much to everyone for joining us. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. UK time on the main channel, this channel, will be the X1 race. At the same time on the alternate channel, I'll be covering the X3 race. And at 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow, it will be the X2 race. Until then, though, we'll sign off. I'll